Hey. Hello, hello, hello. Let's just get my camera lined up. How are you doing? Hello, hello, hello. Well, welcome to the secret vault. Welcome to my secret vault. Let's do it. Secret vault. Oh, yeah. Lidl's cheap beer. But after this, it's going to be. What's that? After that one, it's going to be. Oh, why is it telling me that, by the way? Oh, it's warning me that I'm meant to be starting my live stream. That's nice of it, isn't it? Right. Okay. Fair shout. Anyway, hello everybody. I can see, wow, 149 people in the chat. Well, it might be your lucky night tonight, 149 people in the chat, because I'm thinking of doing a bit of a different stream tonight. Because I always realize that what happens when I do these streams is that I don't end up telling you enough answers to your questions. So what I'm going to do instead tonight is, instead of having guests on, although some may turn up because they generally do, but I'm going to sort of bat them back a bit, and say, look, folks, tonight it's the chat tonight, because I've been meaning to do this for a while, where I do a live stream where I just answer your questions and respond to you, the chat, rather than to everybody else. Look, they got me into something now. Demonetized, instant demonetization. No, I do not suggest you do that. It is very bad for you. It is very bad. Follow your doctor's advice and the World Health Organization. Whoa, Mark Urbex, man, bloody hell. No sooner have we come on than Mr. Mark Urbex has donated 10 buckaroonies. Well, thank you very much, mate. That is going to help a lot, because I've just spent about 300 quid on parts for my bike, which I am going to be fixing tomorrow. So, just to let you know, I bought a trailer specifically for the bike. I had to spend 70 quid on new bearings, because the person who I bought it from said, it's just had new bearings like not long ago. And like both the caps, which keep the grease, were gone. The nipples, which of course have to be there because that's where you punch in grease, they'd gone. And as I was dragging it back home, it sounded like this. Well, you probably might not be able to hear it. It was like a behind the car, because the bearings were pretty much shagged. So it was cheap, but after I paid for new bearings and wheel hubs, but I'd rather do that and know that they're not going to come off when I'm driving down the road, because you just don't know what somebody else has done. So tomorrow is going to be slop, wheel, take it for a quick ride. Yes, it sounds great. And then it's going to be bike, take the side off the bike, take the sprag clutch out, put the sprag clutch in, screw it back together, put the starter motor in, screw it all back together, bing bang bong. It's going to be all great. Fingers crossed, I might be able to take it out for a little test ride tomorrow. Anyway, so let's say hello to everybody in the chat. Oh my god, we've got a £10 donation towards my bike from Tracy Jackson. Thank you very much, Tracy. Yes, thank you. So let's just say hello to everybody who's in the chat. So we've got Bunker Buster, Matthew Bellamy, Mick Spanner, Kylie L. Morgan Musgrove, Mark Urbex, Kerno Exploring Blogs, Darren, The Wicker Man, Angela Cook. Tracy Jackson said, sad to see Fleetwood Mac vocalist Christine McVie has died, age 79. Oh, that is a bit sad. Yeah. Yeah, John Bengal. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, but John, we might be doing just a chat only tonight. So, rather than me being distracted. Oh, God, that came up very late. The super chat. Thank you very much. Well, all £5 of that will go towards my bike. Remember, folks, if you do it through YouTube, they take 50%. If you do it through Streamlabs, which is at the bottom of the screen, if you do that through Streamlabs, then I get the whole amount of the money, and it still comes up in the in the window, so it'll still pop up. There's two different things. One is Streamlabs and one is Super Chats on YouTube. So you still get recognition for it. But yeah, it's a bit of a bummer when hey, doggy's coming in to say hello. What's the matter? What's the matter? My dog's being all attention. I need some attention. I need some attention. I need attention. Make a fuss of me. So there we are. There's my doggy. Yeah, what's the matter? Is it noisy downstairs? Is that tumble dryer upsetting you? It's like a tumble dryer, isn't it? It's a tumble dryer. Yeah, and it upset you because it makes all the noise. Makes all the noises. Oh yes, as you can see, I'm wearing a towel. I'm wearing a towel. If I put a camera down anymore, it could get it interesting. Yeah, I just got out of the bath. See, I had a shave for all of you lot. Yeah, are you coming in? Are you staying? Go and lie out. Go and lie out there. It's quieter. Yeah, well done. Well done. So, let's keep this going. Right, Catherine, Paul Robbins, Tim Downey, Louise Summers, Daniel Ullock, hello. Right, whatever. But only 5 minutes till Matt goes live. Yeah, if you want to ask me any questions, put it in capitals, and I will be reading them. I might be skipping through a bit quickly, missing some points people are making. If you need to make them again because I haven't answered them, put them again in capitals, and I'll do my best to answer them. Mark Smith, Karen Gill, Kenneth Gardner, Daniel Draper, Bucharest Guided Tours, Mars Bar 123, new box mod, Daniel Luck says. New box mod that I thought plus extras. I do enjoy vaping. I believe it's better than smoking. Well, I've kind of got into this because this is just sitting on my desk, so I'm just playing with it all the time now. I don't know whether I'm addicted to it, but I normally do my snuff, as you know. But, well, yeah. Oh, Kevin Quinton. Yes, my 360 cam version of one of my videos did actually show my privates, so I had to take it down. It might be ready to put back up now, but YouTube takes an inordinate amount of time to actually process these videos. So yeah, it might be back up, or ready to go back up. Sorry, I have to click put it back up. Please don't stand up, don't flash. I'll try not to. I'll turn the screen off if I have to go and get more beers. Anyway, Ollie Fab, Mike, Vivian, hello, how are you doing? James Derber, Adrian, Pompey, Ben Bear Williams, Paula Davis, Adrian, Captain Caveman, and Alfie Chivers. I'm going backwards up now. Jackie Green Cats and Things, hello, hello, hello. Yeah. So I hope you've all kind of picked up on the thing. I'm just tonight to save myself being distracted, as I am very, very easy to distract with if I have people in. Of course, you can't be rude. We chat, don't we? We chat amongst the people, and I kind of give second play to the chat channel. I thought tonight I'll make it all about the chat channel tonight if I can, and maybe later on we'll invite a few guests in if things dry up. We'll see. So if you want to ask me any questions, put them in capital letters. So Alfie Chivers says, love your background. Yeah, the old end of the world apocalypse. Yeah, it's got somebody who made the picture probably. There we are. Was it Sihan Engine Digital Art? So there we are. Give him a plug. Oh. Kenneth Gardner says, I like cats' bums all night. Well, whatever floats your boat, mate. Yeah, there you go. There's some people saying they love the videos of the bike. And Paula Davis says, love the video at Longleat. Yeah, there's so much more to do at Longleat. Trust me, there is so much more to do at Longleat. I am looking forward to it. And some of it I'm going to do with my mountain bike to be a bit more discreet. Because if they see you on a real bike, a big bike, they go, hello. So, yeah. Hey you says, what do I think? But he didn't put it in capitals, by the way. He just said what in capitals. So I should reply by saying what in reply to his what. So, but he goes on to say in lowercase, do you think of Jeremy Clarkson's views on drone users? I don't really know, to be honest. I think he thinks they crash a lot, and he'd be right. He would be right, But then they are trying to get like crazy shots for the shows he does. So those crazy shots are going to involve some crazy moves, and crazy moves equals you'll probably crash. So, but yeah, that's why these drone companies come with about 10 drones when they go doing work for things like that, because they know they're going to crash them. So it's like, put that one away, get another one out, carry on, you know. So oh, Kenneth Gardner says, I watched 2 motorbike, no knob shakes. I did not see. Okay. Yeah, only one video had a silly in there, and I should have remembered. What I have to remember to do is, it's a good idea if you're ever filming, right, as a rule, is like when you start filming, you go sync, because if you get problems with the audio, you can dub on the sync. So you got to remember to do that. And if there's something you don't want, you go like this for about 5 or 10 seconds. And then when you're editing it, you go, if you're skipping through things a little bit too quickly, or like I play things at twice the speed, and then you see this, that means hang on, what did I just do there? And it's like, yeah, that would probably stop it. But hey, all for being professional, eh? Right. Eve Tadhunter says, when's your next explore? Well, I've edited one this evening. I have to upload it, so it'll go on in the middle of the night or tomorrow morning. Yeah. What do I think of Ancient Apocalypse? I haven't seen it yet. I've heard about it. There's a bit of controversy. People going like, that can't be right. How can he say these things? And it's like, well, you know, scientists and specialists were so right about a recent pandemic, weren't they? They were so right. And all the conspiracy theorists were so wrong. And the conspiracy theorists were like, no, you can't say those things. And basically everything, I think, that and other conspiracy theorists, I had videos taken down for what I was saying. Remember? I had some videos taken down. I was right, wasn't I? Pretty much. If you go and take things like that, you end up like, you know, damaged, you know, illness, damage. Apparently more people, well, gotta be careful, but more people have caught something by taking something than those that didn't. So it's funny, isn't it, how that not only damages you but makes you get it more quickly. So anyway, Bucharest Guided Tours, thank you for your £2 donation. He says 10 Lee from us for the bike. Thank you very much. It all helps. Thank you. I mean, you know, a lot of the things I do, they're funded by, you know, people's donations for the petrol, because I mean I wouldn't really be able to do it otherwise. It is really down to you lot, and I think on a credit card, but we won't go into that. Ancient Apocalypse. Well, I say, you know, any scientific or expert people that say no, then, you know, do they really know? Because, like, take my pet subject, UFOs. You know, people were like laughing, ha 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 ha. You know, it's not real. Now you've got like the military releasing footage of the Tic Tac UFOs and talking about the fact there's a lot more that they're not prepared to talk about, i.e. there's a lot more, yeah? And it's kind of like, oh, maybe we were right about that one as well, eh? Funny that, isn't it? But if you talk about this stuff, it's classed as fringe, and it's classed as fake news, and needs to be regulated, and people who talk about this sort of stuff need to be watched and put on a watch list for being naughty because they're not following the party line. Well, the party line now is actually, it does exist. So it's funny that, isn't it? But anyway, you know, make sure you do follow all your doctor's advice, and don't listen to anything I say. But yeah, we were telling you a long time ago, you want to take experimental things and get injured, don't go crying to us. But yeah, yeah, these things that'll stop you spreading things and stop you catching it. And it turned out that you could still catch it and you still spread things. And there was me saying like masks were, yeah, and turns out that they were complete bull. Yeah. We were all very, very naughty, weren't we, saying those things? But so, what have we got? Ancient Apocalypse, yes. I would say treat experts with a pinch of salt because everything is open to change of opinion. And I would say don't believe everything that you see on TV, and use your own discretion to kind of filter out the bullshit, and keep all things as a possibility. Don't limit yourself to just one. This is the government sanctioned view on how the life, the universe, and everything works. Do your own investigations. What first drew me into exploring? Well, UFO. Saw a UFO. Changed my mind on what UFOs were about. Then I went looking into where the UFOs were being investigated. Found out about underground bunkers at the place that I was led to understand had investigated these things, and found out about the underground bunkers, and I got, wow, underground bunkers, that's it. So I just got into kind of looking into the stuff like that, I suppose. I've always been into exploring ever since being a kid. I mean, I used to cycle places and visit places. I used to do all that sort of stuff on my own, really, just like hunt around and find things, and go for long walks with a dog. And I've always been interested in landscapes and strange things. So I've always been interested in this sort of stuff, but turning it into something that's more of a kind of like research thing, probably in my 20s, turning it a little bit more serious, and and well, having an outlet for it like YouTube. So that was the real sort of clincher, because I used to produce my own magazine years ago, well over 20 years ago. But it's limited how much you can do with paper and costs and sending things out, and it's just a lot easier to just film things and put it up online. I think a picture and a video, well, pictures speak 1,000 words, videos speak 1,000,000 words. Geordie, thank you for your £10 donation with no message, but thank you very much. And by the way, if anybody wants to send me their details via email, which is at the bottom, me@thematthewwilliams.com. That will enable me to send you some stickers. So do that, and I will send you some stickers in the post. So, right, what's this then? Where is Jimmy Savile? I don't know where he's buried. Is that what you mean? I don't know. Where is he? I don't know, but he's probably dead. I know there are some people who think the Queen isn't dead, and Jimmy Savile isn't dead, and Elvis isn't dead, and Hitler isn't dead, and all these sorts of things, but I think he's probably dead. Yeah. Let's have a look. Scrolling down, so I'm sorry I'm taking a while to answer some of these questions. Let's have a look then. Right, let's scroll up. Vitus Doom says Ancient Apocalypse is awesome. Well, I've been reading about this stuff for donkey's years. The fact that it's only making it into like TV shows now, this information has been around for a very long time. And I've seen Robert Bauval and Hancock. I've actually seen them live, like 20 years ago, talking about this stuff. And looking slimmer in my face. Well, that's probably where the keto diet is coming in. I'm fluctuating between I got down to 89.5, and then it sort of went up a little bit to 91. So it's fluctuating, but I think it's probably coming off somewhere. I'm in ketosis. I'm testing myself every day with these little strips, and I'm in ketosis, but I have to stop eating a lot of food, because what I've been doing is in ketosis but eating a lot, which means you're not really going to take it off. You're just fat burning, which is better for your body. Instead of using sugar burning, I'm doing fat burning, but I'm still eating a lot of food, and I'm just having to kind of like train myself to eat smaller amounts on the plate, because I will fill that gap otherwise. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much. I'm just wanting to come off my face first, which will probably make me look like that weird sort of skinny bloke you used to see years ago in some of my older videos. And then it's going to probably come off my gut, which would be really nice, because I would like to see my genitals, which I haven't seen in like 25 years. No, only kidding, folks. My gut isn't that big, but it's not where it should be. Right, what's this? The National Clottery. Right, So I'm 5 minutes behind on the question, so let's speed it up. He says, they don't like the truth being said, so videos get censored. Yes, indeed. And who decides what's right and wrong? Who decides who is right and who is wrong? I mean, maybe I'll end up doing my videos on bloody Twitter, to kind of make sure that I'm not censored. I had a video taken down the other day, which was all my phone footage. And it was all the clips off my phone, which I don't normally do anything with. But at the end of the year, I just put all my clips and just went, ha 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 ha. It's like a disconnected load of clips. Somebody complained. But YouTube, in their wisdom, don't tell you at which moment in the video was a complaint. So how can I know how to sanitize that video before I re-upload it? How do I know? I don't know. So I've complained to YouTube saying, can you tell me where it is so I can deal with it? Just take the video down. It's bollocks. Anyway, there we are. Just give you that. Yeah. Check new drone laws. New class of drones where you can fly them. It's been out a few weeks. That new class of drones doesn't apply in the UK. They won't let you. Was it class 3 or class C? Yeah. Britain said we're not having it. So, yeah, basically, we've got a grace period where you can still fly in the old rules, but they're tightening down the rules so that you won't be able to fly over houses and populated areas and things like that. So, do I care? Have there been any major accidents happen because of drone use? So why do they need all this massive regulation? Nah, I'm not interested. Thank you. Matt, you're right. More time than wrong. Well, I'm probably wrong a lot of the time actually, but I like to think that with the old big naughty, that even though I know people who actually died because of it, I do believe that a lot could have been done to help understand treatments, which was never done. And you've heard me talking about some of those ideas, but no, it was all about, this is the only treatment. This is it. This is the treatment. And it's like, no. So now we're starting to get the smart people are coming forward, the politicians are coming forward and say, we were lied to. We were lied to. So anyway, John Richard says, I've been thinking about World War III lately. Where are the best underground places to shelter from a nuke? Well, any old military bunkers, perhaps. They probably aren't good. A lot of the ones that have been sold off won't be ready to filter the air. So radiation will be a problem. But if you want to survive a blast, some of those old bunkers, maybe, possibly. Yeah, I don't really know where all of them are, and I bet the best ones, the real good ones now, are kind of still secret, in Britain. But yeah, I mean, go and live in Sweden. They provide bunkers for the entire population, unlike the UK, which is like, nah, only bunkers for rich people and the royal family. You can die. We're not interested in you. Go and live in Sweden or Switzerland. There are bunkers in the mountains and underground for the entire population. And I'm not joking. Check it out. Yeah. But we live in a country that kind of snubs its nose at its population and doesn't exactly take care of us as well as it could. So, yeah. Silent Garenda says 720, not the usual 1080. What, you mean this? I don't know. Is it really? I don't know. Is there a button I can check? What am I outputting in? It might be because I did something the other day and I had to change it for something. Let me have a look. Stream. No. Output video. Video. No, it should be coming out in 720. I don't understand why it hasn't if it's not, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, so Paula Saver says you can't keep on taking things. Want your body? Do your body any good? What, these things? Well, yeah. I'm more interested in losing weight than I am about things like this and things I stick at my nose. I know. I go through phases where I stop doing this because it ends up hurting my nose, and I go through a phase where I'm not touching that because it's like, and I let my nose recover and repair, and then I get back on it again. I know it's naughty. Many e-cigarettes, Gaza says, contain more nicotine than regular cigarettes, which makes them a terrible choice from anybody wanting to quit smoking. Well, yes, but then it's also the damage it does to your lungs, because smoke and tar is horrific, you know. So yeah, it's a kind of lesser evil. It's not perfect, but it's a lesser evil, I think. Yeah. Right, scrolling down. John Kevin Quinton says John Space Station LOL. Okay. Jay Shu says, what do I think of Graham Hancock and his look on it all? I think it's very interesting, and I'm quite interested in Zachariah Sitchin and the concept that we've been visited by aliens in the past. You know, I think it's an interesting perspective. I mean, one can only imagine what the truth is, and we have to be open-minded and do our own research. But there are some strange things out there, like these very large beings, very tall. And I mean, not that I'm into the Bible, but I mean, it does talk in ancient history about the giants, the race of giants, and where did they go? You know, and there are skeletons which seem to sort of defy the understanding of you know, where these giants may have come from and disappeared to. Why aren't they still here? Mick Spanner says, will the StreamYard logo cause screen burn on my new OLED? Well, if it does, send your claim form in for damages to Jimmy Savile, PO Box 666, BBC, London, NW1 2AA. Yeah. So yeah, well, your OLED screen should actually have technology in it. What it does is it actually sort of, without you realizing it, shifts the image over time. It shifts it up, down, left, and right. If you're worried about it, you can turn the brightness down on your OLED to 50%. That'll help, you know, instead of having it at 100%. April Life says, why I love you, Matt. I don't know why I love you. I don't know why do you I love you. Yeah, I love you too. But yeah. But don't send me any child support claims. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, but then again, I mean, it's like the BBC, they have their logo up in the corner. ITV, they have Channel 4, all these different things. So StreamYard is just one more. So, you know, it depends how much you watch these things. Right, okay, so we're... is there anywhere where I want to explore but have not managed to yet? Yes, there are places. I would love to go and see a nuclear launch silo in the United States. Not that I'm not a great fan of going to the United States, because I've like got to have a good reason to go A, B, C, because the kind of general setup of the United States and how you know, all the like the layout and the things, it just doesn't appeal to me really. But yeah, there are some interesting things out there to see though. What actually is snuff? Snuff is this brown stuff, which is basically tobacco. I've got different types. There's this one. There's different flavors basically. So there's that one, which doesn't have any real flavor in it. And then I get the eucalyptus ones, like this one, and I mix it 50-50 with the one that doesn't have any flavoring with this one, because the eucalyptus ones overdoes it. It upsets my nose, so I tone it down again. Yeah. Urbexy says you can make your own vape juice if you really want to know what's in it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Jordan and Luke bought these cheap from China, like through the back door, so they're not regulated by the UK. So the stuff that's probably in here, which is buzzing me out, in true Chinese style, is probably just chemicals. It isn't nicotine, because China's full of that. They make beer, but it doesn't have alcohol in it. It has chemicals, and the chemicals make you buzz. Yeah, now that's fine in China, but it's not legal in the UK. So I would not recommend, if you ever go to China, don't drink the beer, even if it says Heineken. It's fake. Even if it says Carlsberg, it's fake. It's fake, 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 fake. Trust me, you'll end up ill. People have gone to China, got pissed, yeah, and died because they weren't drinking alcohol, yeah. So is there anywhere I'd like to go? Yes. I wouldn't like to name some of them, though, because I don't want to give other people ideas, because I haven't seen other people do some of the things I want to do. Yeah, I mean, if I didn't go and buy that bike, and if I didn't do some of the things I do, I could probably afford to go to some of these places. But I am I'm sort of practically a practical person that thinks these are the things I can do locally, and they will keep on giving me things I can do and do and do and do. Whereas if I spend the money to go to do that one thing, that's it. It's a one-off, and it'll probably still have the same views as all the other videos. You know, it's not gonna sort of, you know, majorly change the channel by going to do one or two things like that. So the way I see it is kind of like, if I get the mountain bike, I can take you on explores where I can park the car and then go the distance that I would hate to walk on the mountain bike and finish the explore that way. And I've got some of those lined up. I've just got to get my arse into gear to do them. So yeah. And now I've got the trailer for the bike, it will allow me to go. I'm going to explore some of South Wales, you know, which I know. So I know there's some stuff there that will be interesting for you to join and watch with. Because I've been into these places years ago on bikes that I've had years ago, but I never filmed them. You know, back then it would have been it would have been a shoulder camera with VHS on it. You know, now it's like a little 360 camera on the head, and it's a lot nicer and much better quality. It's crazy. It's like having a movie camera on your head that's about that big. It's brilliant. The technology has just come on such a long way. I mean, there's no way I'd really want to shoot VHS at these locations. If we stop the bike, get off, pull the VHS out, film, put it away, get on the bike, ride, stop, pull the VHS out, you know, and it would be absolutely terrible. So yeah. Urbexy says propylene glycol, vegetable glycerine, and food flavouring. That's what's in these, a lot of them, if you're lucky. If you're lucky. Do you get bored of doing local places, though, living in the area? Well, yes, but the thing is, you see, your local area, which you get bored of, is not necessarily something that will bore other people. And I keep on saying to people, you know, everyone says, like, you know, oh, there's no locations around me to do, there's nothing to do. And if I went there, I probably would find some things, and then you go, oh yeah, well, I could have done that, I suppose. Yeah, I could have done that. There's always stuff on your own doorstep, but you overlook it because it's things that you consider too boring for yourself. But I think that other people wouldn't necessarily think the same way. So the world is at your doorstep. Start close and work your way out. That's my philosophy. You know, don't go, you know, 1,000 miles, because it looks clever and it makes your channel look like, wow, look, he goes everywhere. It's like, there's loads of things to see around where you live. Specialize in what you know rather than having to, you know, travel and travel and travel. I mean, I hate spending like 11 hours in the car to drive to Scotland. I like the destination, but the 11 hours, yeah, I can only do that every once in a while. You know what I mean? So, would I come to Ireland? I've been to Ireland actually, and I would like to go back, but I'd have to have a lot of things I want to do. I mean, the thing about Ireland for me is it looks nice, but that's it. You know, I'm not sure what I would do there. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it enough. So that was from Marsbar123. Right, I'm scrolling back up now. Matt, your snots will be a funny colour with snuff. They are. They're horrible. They're always brown. They're brown, and sometimes it crusts on the ends of your nose as well. So you've got to keep it clean. Right. Let's scroll down then. Matt, have you looked at the nightclub in Solihull I emailed you about? Email me again. I'm really shit. I need to go back up to Birmingham. Birmingham is a gift that keeps on giving. It's within reasonable distance for me to travel, but I'm pretty bad. I'm actually thinking of creating, I've been chatting to a few people about this. I'm thinking of creating for myself not just pins on the map, because Google eats my pins as well. So if I put a pin there, like I go looking for it, it's not there. So I can't trust Google Maps to be there as my friend for when I go exploring. What I need to do is create a list, which I have done in the past. Um, I need to create a list. I need to keep moving things up the list, to kind of like, oh, I could do that, 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 and that. And I need to start not just pinning things on Google Maps, but I need to also put them on a list, because then if they disappear off Google Maps, it doesn't matter because I've still got the list. So anyway, it's just a thought. I keep forgetting some of these things that are in certain areas, and it's one of those. If I go to that area, then and I call up Google Maps, I would expect Google Maps to say, look at all these pins you've been told about, but it doesn't. It just goes 1, 2, 3, and it's like, well, where's the other 10? That's the trouble. So yeah. um yeah, what's it? Somebody said e-bike, no license required. Well, you don't need a license to ride a bike, but e-bikes can be illegal. So uh, Wallet Moth says, will I be going back to Tottenham House to see how it's coming along? Well, possibly. Yep. I haven't been told not to come back. They never contacted us about that. It's weird. They just probably upped their security, and then you know maybe they liked the video that we did, but they never contacted me to tell me not to come back, so I could. Oh, Matt. I would like to go around the Isle of Wight. Motorbikes would be good. Yes, yes, I would like to do that as well. Um, the Isle of Wight, I wanted to do it by boat. I never got round to it. I wanted to go all the way around the Isle of Wight on boat. Again, it's one of those sorts of things. It's more exciting for me than it probably would be to be filmed, but I could try and film it all. Hey, why I'm at Manjo. And don't forget, Pompey, anyone wants to ask me a question, put it in capitals, because I just managed to read that by, yeah. Uh, don't listen to ruining the screen burn thing. It's a last resort for dead pixels. Oh yeah. Well, it depends. Some things are more prone to it than others. Some devices are more prone to burn than others. But yeah, but you have to look at your particular TV, and if you think it's gonna cause burn, it depends. If you're watching YouTube on your TV's smart TV, then the logo is always going to be in this exactly the same place because it fills the whole screen. So YouTube, boom, full screen. However, if you're watching YouTube on a computer connected to a big screen, then you have the ability to hold down control and press plus and minus on your keypad, or hold down the control key and scroll the thing on the mouse and make the screen different sizes like this, you see. So you could resize where things are, and then you're making it different so it won't burn. So if you're watching on a computer to the screen, you have more control over where that little logo appears. Anyway, so can I put the motorbike on the trailer? Yes, I can, and I can put my electric bike in the back of the car. It fits in the back of the car, so I don't even need a trailer. So yeah. Kerno says, give us a shout when down that way. We'll go for a ride. Yeah, well, what I'll do, see, because I don't want to ride all the way down to Cornwall because that would be quite a mental strain. But because it takes a lot of concentration when you're riding a bike, a lot more than when you're driving a car, in my humble opinion. You can tell me whether I'm correct on that, Mr. Kernow. It's very exhilarating, but it drains you a lot because you've really got to have your wits about you. It can be a bit more leisurely when you're driving a car. So what I'd like to do is I'll bring the bike down to Cornwall with the car. Once I get there, then we bike it. So that would be a lot better for me. And it's not brilliant weather at the moment, but still, you can get around. If you want to tell me that it's good places to go on a bike, I shall endeavour to give it a go. Mm. So, right, what else we got then? Scrolling down now. Let's have a look. If I had £1,000,000, what would I do with it? Bloody hell. I think I'd buy a nice little microlight aircraft. That would be good. Or do my helicopter pilot's license and get it. Oh no, helicopters are expensive. Yeah. Yeah. Get a small microlight, perhaps. Again. Probably invest it in something. So I could live off it. That would be nice. I wouldn't just squander it, just like spend. I didn't, try and put it to use so that it would keep me going. That's what I would do. Hey, hidden history, hooray! I've gone round the Isle of Wight, he says, on a 125cc bike. It's great. Yeah, absolutely. Another place I'd like to go is, so I'm giving you a clue here. I've never been to the Isle of Man. Now that is a place I would like to visit because I've never been there. I've been to Ireland, I've been to Scotland, obviously come from Wales, and I've been driven through a large swathe of Europe, but I've never been to the Isle of Man. So there's one. Any plans to do explores in Bristol? Must be loads of options. Martin Campbell, yes. I just need to spend more time in Bristol to find out what is available down there because it changes. Techno Towers, by the way, just a little update for you. Techno Towers, you can't get in there anymore because they've actually turned it back into a proper building. It's got all the windows have been done as double glazing, and it's all been done out. So and they've taken the scaffold down, so there's no way to climb up the building and get in through the window like we used to. It's all been done. So Techno Towers has been, it's been transformed. So it shall be a wonderful working building again. So yeah. Hey Dinkamozi, hey, hit that like, he says. Thank you. Yeah. What's this? A new B-21 bomber to be unveiled Friday. Really? B-21 bomber. Wow, that's going to be interesting. Wow, I bet that's been out for 20 years and we've not been told about it. So it's going to be the first thing we get to see. So yeah, somebody said, Tony Marshall said if he had £1,000,000, I'd spend it. Yeah. Well, I like some things, I like little things that kind of, keep your interest level up. Like the flying is one of the most fun things I've done, but it has its limitations. It really does. It has major limitations. Like I could put my scooter in a microlight, right, my electric scooter, and when I land somewhere, then I can actually go off and do something and come back and then put it in the microlight and go away again. I could do that. That would be cool. But like when you end up in an airfield, when you land somewhere, you're stuck. You have to get a taxi, or hire a car, which it's just like the practicalities of flying an aircraft from A to B. You still have to get somewhere at the end. Otherwise, all you're doing is you're flying it to just see the airfields, which is in itself quite interesting. But or get somebody to pick you up. That's the other option. Lindopsky says, is anyone using GH6 in the chat? Yeah. Well, I had a Panasonic GH4. I didn't bother with the 5. In fact, I still got the GH4. I need to get rid of that, actually. But, yeah, that's a good point, actually. I need to dig that out, find where it is, and get rid of it, because I don't use it. Right. Let's have a look. Where am I missing? Put it in capitals if you want to ask any questions. What's this? You can visit Big Clive in the Isle of Man. Well, I don't know Big Clive, but yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea if you could get to meet the guy. Beardy weedy Big Clive, yeah, indeed. Scottish Dave says, buy a big turnip in the country. Yeah. Kerno says he's just installed some off-road tyres on his bike and they're awesome. Woo! Yeah. Natalie, thank you for your moderation. Hey, Urban Legend. My God, he's gone, he's got home. He did say I could tell you He's not been very well, but I'm not allowed to tell you what. He can tell you if he wants himself, but he's not been very well and he had to go into hospital. But luckily, I think he's okay. But he's going to have to take it easy because he wasn't very well. But it's up to him if he tells you what that's about. But it is medical, so it is thing. Paramotor, no bloody way. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Not touching paramotors, no way. One of the most unsafe things there is. Nope. I know people who've injured themselves. I know people who've killed themselves with paramotors and paragliding. Nope. Not for me. Not for me. And yeah, you can pick them up really cheaply. And yeah, you can put them in the back of your car. And yeah, you can go to a mountain. And yeah, you can fly. And yeah, you go bang, dead. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not interested in that. Thank you. I prefer my wings to be what they call fixed. Fixed wings, i.e. they don't fold up and collapse. They are fixed. Fixed wings equals safety. Yeah. Yeah. Urban legend. Yeah, he was. He had a bit of a shock. So yeah, but he seems to be okay at the moment. So am I planning on doing any more flying videos? Well, I kind of stopped flying. There's an expense involved in it as well, you know, like anything with flying, you know, it's sort of like you could save up and buy an aircraft, but when it goes wrong, can you afford to fix it? And that's the thing. So yeah, Urban De-evolved Urban Exploring says, what program or app do I use to add music to your videos without fear of YouTube's copyright problems? It's simple. You use YouTube's own copyright-free library that belongs to YouTube. They've actually paid for the music. So YouTube has its own audio library. And if you download the tracks onto your computer from the YouTube audio library, which it allows you to do, you can play them, listen to them, and if you like them, you press download and it puts it on your hard drive. And then if you use that in your video, you get no crap. Otherwise, you can subscribe to audio libraries and pay money, and they put you on their white list, but it goes wrong. And I'm not interested in going wrong, because I've had friends of mine have said, who are proper artists, you know, like published artists, music artists, and they've said, you can use our music. And it's like, yeah, every couple of months, I get these things saying, you have nicked our music. And I have to go, no, I'm the guy. Remember, I know them and they told me it was okay. And they go, no, we don't care. And it's like, no, really, I really know them. I know the artist. And it's just boring. So I just use YouTube copyright-free music now. Yeah. So there we are. Ultralight helicopter. You can, yes, but the thing with an ultralight helicopter is, you have to have a. I think you still have to have your helicopter license, but you can fly it, not under normal helicopter rules, but you can only take one person. Yeah, ultralight helicopter. But then, you know, there we are. You're gonna have to go through all your helicopter lessons to do it. But yeah. Olifab says PC3. That's Pipe Choir 3, PC3, Pipe Choir 3. They're bloody brilliant. They are. And they do really long music tracks, which are great for some of my videos. Yeah. Paula Davis is off. See you. Goodbye. Would I play Microsoft Flight Simulator again? I haven't got round to it. It's changed now as well. It's got better. And I think I switched it from the Microsoft Maps to Google Maps, and it was even better. So, yeah. Is my PPL still valid? No, it's not. I would need to refresh it. Yeah, which means I'd have to do a couple of hours with an instructor, and if they say, yep, you're okay, then you can go. That's fine. But yeah, you have to keep valid, you know, with your PPL license. But my license lasts for life, but you just have to keep it valid. You know, you have to show them that you've done a certain amount of flying within a certain amount of time. And if you're flying by yourself, once you're valid, if you're flying by yourself, you have to do, I think it's 13 hours a year to keep your license valid, and then it rolls on. So if you do 13 hours within 12 months, then your license remains valid. But I think every Is it with microlights? I don't know if it's every 2 years you have to have 1 hour with a instructor just to make sure you haven't slacked. You haven't kind of like started doing some really stupid things. I can't remember what it is now. But yeah. But helicopters, you have to do your test for a helicopter every year. You have to redo your test, redo it with an instructor every year. So it's not like just a check flight where they're checking you look like you're okay, right? Which is not to pass it. No, with a helicopter, you have to pass your helicopter license every year. And the reason is because it's a lot more involved. And they want to know that your brain is capable of still handling the workload, because there's a lot more involved with helicopters. So, yeah. Gyrocopters, yeah, possibly. They are interesting, but they're very expensive. That's the trouble. I mean, like, they're only really going to take you the same sort of places you'd go as with a microlight. However, they're 60 to 90 grand as opposed to 5 to 10,000 for a second-hand microlight, you know, or 2,000 for a flex wing microlight, you know, 2 grand for an old flex wing. You know, there's a massive difference in the price. But hey, Dinkum, if you're offering, mate, I won't cock my nose up at that. If you're offering, yeah. Daniel says Matt isn't really a gamer. I used to be, but I mean, I games used to fill the void of when I didn't have anything to do, and it was bad weather, and you'd stay indoors and you just play games. Now with Urbex, to be perfectly honest, I'm always looking for something to go and do. So I don't have the time for games, because it's like you do the Urbex and then in your downtime you edit it, and then it's like, well, what's the next Urbex? And it's kind of like that. I haven't got an awful lot of time to play games. Um, I probably could jam it in there somewhere, but I mean, again, Flight Simulator, I used to play it when I wanted to be a pilot. Now I am a pilot. Flight Sim really is not a patch on actually flying, because it really does not feel like the real thing, you know. Being there with high definition vision and feeling it and getting buffeted by the elements and all that, it's not the same. It really isn't, you know. So yeah, I mean, real flying is definitely, much better than yeah, playing it. Yeah. David Jason flies a helicopter. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah, well, he has to. He's getting on in years, and he has to revalidate every year. Well, be re-examined every year. You know. Mm. So, Devol says, Matt, thanks for your reply about YouTube music. Do I need to attribute the song in the description? If so, where do I get that info? Some artists do want you to give them attribution. However, if they appear in the YouTube library, technically you're clear to use the music. But some artists would like you to put attribution in your video, but you may or may not know that. There might be like an info box for the music you download, and it may say, oh, by the way, make sure you give them this attribution. But generally, if it's in the YouTube music library, it's there for a reason, and the reason is you can use it. So use it. So Scottish Dave says, having money isn't all it's cracked up to be. Yeah, that's it. Well, the more money you get, the more you're going to spend. The more you spend, the more responsibility you've got. And it's just like, it's one of those, isn't it? History Hunter Dan Ender donated £10. Thank you. He says, help with the expensive explores and appreciated for the great content. Thank you very much, mate. Well, it's all helping to knock off the 300 quid that I just spent on the parts for my bike. I'll go get a beer, and I'll bring the bits up and show you what I spent the 300 quid on. Hang on. But you'll have to wait a minute. So what I'll do is I'll put the intermission on to give you some music whilst I go, and I shall be back in a minute. Oh, what's that? Just pressed the wrong button. There we are. Let's turn this back on. Wow. Right, give me a sec. Guess what I'm eating? Very naughty. Used to be vegetarian. Part of the diet has turned me a bit naughty. So, very naughty. We won't say any more about that. Right. This is the starter motor. Starter motor for the bike. What happened was it's got teeth there, and the teeth got stripped off because it was starting and it wasn't releasing, so it was going start, bang, and it was knocking the teeth off. And the culprit for causing it to not release when the engine started, right, was this thing, right? And you can check this to make sure I'm not joking about how much this cost. This little thing, the starter motor turns one way, it grips. Then when the engine runs the other way, it doesn't grip. This is called a sprag clutch. It's fairly meaty. Have a guess how much that cost. Right. A new gasket, just in case I need it. It's 10 quid. And a little tool to help you get it all off, £13. But have a guess how much the sprag clutch cost. Right? And if you want to, you can guess how much the motor cost as well. Right? Motor's cheaper, but still expensive. And anyway, that's going to make my life. Right. Oh, Ducks Go Quack says 80 quid. John Richard says 250. He's closer. John Richard is closer. Any other offers? Any other offers? But Ducks Go Quack, you were a little bit shy on that one. Yeah. 50 quid. Wireman Joe says 300. It's a bit too much. You're going the wrong direction, but you're close. 93 quid. Nah. Starter cog, 120 quid, mate. Really? Yeah? This is a proper Yamaha one. 100 quid, says Jackie Green. No. The starter motor was 90. Daniel Draper, you're the closest so far. Daniel Draper is the closest. It was £200 for that little metal thing. Sprag clutch, 200 quid. Oh, they're all coming in now. They're all wild. Tracy Jackson says 600 quid. That's how much it would cost to get somebody to fit it for you as well. Yeah, that's right. Oh God, they're all flying in now. They're all flying in. I'll put you out of your misery. Look, £90 for the motor, £200 for the sprag clutch, the whole lot with the gasket and the little tool, about £300. Not cheap, eh? But at least it will be making the bike last, because I've only had it. You've seen how many starts I've done on it, and it already died. So yeah, original parts you're going to pay a lot more. However, I don't want to play funny games with Chinese cheap metal, cheap specifications, not doing the job. So I'd rather get the real bits, because I don't want to be doing this job 3 times over. I want to do it once and it's done, if you know what I mean. Because you can pay £45 for a sprag clutch, but it ain't going to be so cheap when I've got to do it 3 times over and put a second starter motor on there, because that sprag clutch from China, dodgy. Yeah, that's the way I think. They don't go wrong maybe once in a lifetime. Really? That's not what they say on the forums. Oh, yum. You want some of this, don't you? Yeah. So this has been my breakfast at the moment. I either have bacon, or I've had mushrooms and like green stuff, or just some of this, because it just like 2 seconds to cut it, put it in your mouth. That's my breakfast. A couple of slices of this. I am. Kevin Quinton agrees. He says, no messing, bish bash bosh, job done. China likes to produce knockoff bits, but they knock them off to make them look like it, but are they as good as it? That's it. Kerno says OEM parts are best. Well, if this Spragclush goes again, I'll try some OEM parts. But what am I eating? Salami. Ow! Oh, do you have to? Dog just took my fingers off. Jesus. Are there any old cool documentaries about urbex? I don't know actually. Historical ones. I did see a thing years ago on VHS about a guy that went into I think it was New York subway to see the people who lived there underground. They actually lived next to the subway tracks. That's one of the earliest kind of urbex type things I ever remember seeing. So, Chinese trail bikes, 600 quid road registers. You can get them now for about 1200 quid. And yeah, they are legal. However, no, I've never met Lloydie, Norton, Al from Hell on Earth. I've never met them. No. Yeah, they seem quite, quite interesting characters. But I think their sense of humour is so dry. I don't know. I'd probably be thinking, is he being serious? Is he being serious now? No, I don't think they are being serious ever. Garlic sausage. No, garlic sausage has carbohydrates in it, and they've made it with something sweet. They put sweeteners in it because garlic sausage would knock me out of keto because it has a lot of carbohydrates. So, just straight salami or pepperami. Lidl stuff is great. You look on it, carbohydrates, 0. Sugars, 0. Brilliant. So it's just meat and fat, which is what I need. I need the fat for the keto diet and the meat for the protein. And that's it. A little bit of salt, a little bit of meat. That's what I'm needing at the moment to kind of like cut down my yeah. It is delicious. I do like it. But like I say, I've had to take a bit of a turn on what I'm doing. No, my doggy is like, give. Do you want? Hmm? You want? What do you want them? I want that. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Very polite. Very polite. That's it. Now it's all gone. Mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Wait, wait. It's all gone now. Right. So back to. I need to pedal more. Yeah. But the thing is, right, I made my electric bike because I wanted to do explores. I never got round to it. And I'm quite amazed I kind of forgot about it because it is actually good. I really have enjoyed doing the pedal explores. But my strategy is as follows. If it's extremely long distance, then use the motorbike. And if it's more fun to take the piss, use the motorbike. If you don't want to take the piss, if you want to blend in and look, the Karens would leave you alone, use the electric bike. So there are certain places that will be nice to go to, but you won't be able to use a motorbike, but you'll get away with it on the mountain bike. And that's the thought process is go and visit some places, but if you can't get away with it on the motorbike, have the electric bike. And the thing is, the beauty is I can have both in the car. I can have the electric bike in the car and the motorbike on the back. And if I get told no on the motorbike, I can just pull the electric bike out and off you go. So yeah. So here we go. What's it now? Last question about the YouTube music and videos. Can you use only short clips, etc., or full songs? No, you can use the whole song. You can use the whole song as long as it's from the YouTube library. You can use it and as many times as you want, and you can even chop it up into your own track. It's allowed, you know. So you could remix that track, that YouTube track, into your own new track. But you would, I'm not sure whether you would then own the copyright. You'd own the copyright on your new one, but you'd still have to kind of like acknowledge the original. I'm not sure. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, John Adams says 120 for the starter and 180 for the Sprag. There we are. It's close. 200 for the Sprag, and it was 90 for the motor. Yeah. What happened to the Seagull song? What's one's that? The Seagull song. Oh, let's have a scroll up. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Ah, Scottish Day said I had a fake Audemars Piguet watch. It broke within a week. Yeah, there you go. That's it. See. Um, Yeah, Silent Garenda says it's made from all the frag we export to them, our old recycled rubbish. They send it back to us as fake parts, you know. David Armstrong says, I'm looking for a tripod for my phone. For your phone, or just get one of these £3 things off eBay. You stick your phone in there and you just get these like legs, and the legs bend so you can actually attach these onto like things. So you can put it onto like a banister rail or a handrail. You can just attach it and then, you know, film wherever you want. Very, very flexible. These are quite useful things. And this unscrews, the top bit unscrews, and you can put that on a normal tripod and film with your mobile phone on a tripod, or put it back onto this little flexi tripod and use it like that. They're very useful. Yeah. Oh, Steve Ellis says he remembers the documentary about the New York subway stations, and the people who lived in between subway stations, and they used to go down and live in the spaces, you know, and underground. It was interesting, yeah. Mm. Matthew Topping says, how can you get the Urbex VHS? I can't remember what it was called. Let me just see if I can find out what it was called now. So it was people people who live in subway New York, tunnel dwellers, film. Let me have a look. Film. Dark Days. That was it. Dark Days. It was a 2000 documentary feature film by a British filmmaker called Mark Singer, and it follows people who live in an abandoned section of the New York subway called Freedom Tunnel. There we are. There you go. And somebody did a similar film called Voices in the Tunnels, but they were obviously just copying Dark Days. It's a good little thing if you can find it. Dark Days. It might be out there to watch now because it's been out for such a long time. Might just be uploaded onto YouTube. Just check out Dark Days. Here we are. Kenneth Gardner says, my early airbex was Birmingham Old Tunnels. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, okay. Matt is the best urbex, and why? Excluding military bases. Well, you like the normal stuff I do, not military bases. Okay. Tracy Jackson says, I love Norton from Hell on Earth. Do a video with him. IKS did. Well, he bumped into them unexpectedly in the supersonic test range, you know, the supersonic wind tunnels at Farnborough. So they just bumped into them, but yeah. Did I explore Gwylfa Hiraethiog before it fell apart? What the hell is that? Let me do a search on it. Let me find out what you're on about. Ooh, what is it? It might be worth having a look. I don't know. Let's have a look. The Welsh Watchtower. Oh, yeah, it does look like it's kind of gone now. It's not much of it left. Denbigh. Oh God, that means going to North Wales. Oh dear. See, I have a horror. I don't like Wales in general. I kind of find it a little bit backwards. So when you say like Denby, I'm like, "Ugh," yeah. Mm. Yeah. So Natalie Lucy Alice says I ate way too much meat over the weekend. Ah, don't worry, you can fast and it'll all be good. Just do a bit of fasting. Um, MC says, "What's the most memorable urbex you've done and why, excluding military bases?" Oh, I see what you mean. Right, okay. Memorable urbex. Um, Paris catacombs was quite interesting, but I have a memory of it being so hard and painful to do because I was carrying the big camera that I realised I made it awkward for myself in order to get good quality footage. You know what I mean? And I won't be doing that again. You know, it's like when you're going underground in a long, long, long explore. If you've got to bend down and like be crouched, like with a camera that weighs a lot, it's a nightmare. Mm. But where else? Where else? Where else? Um, I really like the underground stuff, like Monk's Park. That was a good one. But the one I wish I could have filmed more of, but I didn't have the battery. It was on old equipment. Was Caution. Getting into the actual massive 25 miles of underground tunnels. But I have my memories of it, but you know I don't have the footage because we had a limited amount of battery power. Was shit in the old days. And yeah, so I didn't end up filming much of it. I'd love to go back there, but they won't let us now because it's been reclassified, and God knows what they're doing down there. But it's reclassified, and the chances of getting down there are very slim. So yeah. Mm. Mm. Let's have a look. Well, Alufab says, "You remember the lady who grabbed my camera in the catacombs?" Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I nearly hit her over the head with the camera. In fact, I was getting a bit like, "Don't you touch my camera, you fuck!" Excuse my language, but yeah. Dinkum Odyssey says it was the other white meat mat. Yeah, what's that? White meat. I know that term, but I don't know. What I've heard it said, but what's white meat mean? It's pale in color before and after cooking. Oh, rabbit and things like that. So like chicken, I suppose. Which meat is white meat? Chicken, turkey, rabbit meat is considered white. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Well, the best meat to eat if you're on keto is pork because it has lots of fat. It's mostly protein, and it's not there's not much carbohydrate in it. It's considered the best. So I have found myself just cooking like 4 or 5 rashers of bacon with a bit of salad and having that, and I had very high keto rating when I was doing that. So I'm gonna have to go back to doing that because I've been making curries, and I'm 50% keto rating at the moment. It's like showing up as 50%, but it does taste nice. Oh, I love my curries. So, if I can work something that actually tastes nice as well as eating healthy, I think it's finding the balance. But like chewing on a load of rocket is a type of vegetable. It's like lettuce, but it's more healthy. Again, it's good for keto. But chewing on a load of that, it's like there's only so much you can take. And it's like I was eating mushrooms raw, and there's no taste. It's just no taste at all. But like mushrooms put in the pan after the bacon with a bit of garlic, that's quite nice. So it's things like that really. So it's like finding how to turn these things that taste really boring into something that is more palatable without increasing the carbohydrates. Anyway, sorry, I'm boring you with that all that crap now, I'm sure. But what's the range of the electric bike? Of an electric bike? Well, they're all different. Some people talk about getting 20, 30 miles out of their bikes. But I mean, realistically, I think, Mine will do about 10 miles, and that's with me pedaling a little bit as well. It'll do about, well, I think I did 12 miles. But yeah, you know, depends on the bike. Some of them that have these, what do they call them, on the wheels, the motor is actually on the wheel itself. Those seem to get more mileage, but they do not climb hills. So if you start hill climbing, they'll use loads of power, and therefore they will die quite quickly. If you're on the flat, they seem to be okay, but uh, Ducks Go Quack says, F the Karens, grunt at them when they cut looks. They don't dare open mouth. Yeah, well, it's like she didn't get any traction with me. It's like, well, what have I done wrong? I'm driving down the road. Yeah? What am I doing? I'm driving into some fields that don't have any gates on them. Yeah? What am I doing wrong? Mm. Yeah, James Evans says, Nosith da to the Welsh. What's that? Good night, is it? I don't know. Nos Nosith da. It's like Nos star. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Mick Spanner says, will he meet? Yeah, I don't know. Will he or won't he? Yeah. Um, Daniel Hellman says those tunnels must be nice to explore. Yeah, they were. They were very, very good. But it would be much better if I had wellies on, waders, so I could kneel down in shit without it getting against my skin, and waterproof hand gloves, so that I could, you can basically keep yourself away from the shit, that is flowing down there because the sewers leak into the tunnels, and you are literally walking in raw sewage, which is not good, So yeah. MC says some of his favourites are the theatres and cinemas. Of course, I forgot about those. Yeah, I love a big old theatre and a big old cinema, and they're so classic. The design of them, all those little rooms, and I love them. I love them. There's nothing quite like the design of an old cinema or an old theatre. They're quirky, very quirky, and you just think to yourself, God, imagine the people, the famous stars that have sat in this room and put on makeup and put on clothes and got themselves ready, and then walk out onto the stage and entertain the masses. Imagine all those stars, and imagine all the films that have been shown on these screens, like classic films, you know, and all that sort of, all that magic that goes with the performing arts and movies and things like that. And you kind of, when you're in those buildings, I think it makes you feel a little bit closer to that magic. When you go into those old buildings, I love that. It's a very special feeling that you get. It's very sort of warm feeling when you go to old theatres and you see like all the effort that's been put into the design, the ceilings, and they're designed to like wow you. They're like cathedrals. You walk in, and as you walk up the steps, and you are wowed by the expanse, the big screen, the big overhead, and it's meant to impress you. It's meant to like psychologically impress you, and all of that I think adds to the enjoyment of the performance, whether it be on film or live action, live theatre, yeah. Silent Garenda says, is my e-bike a conversion? Yes, it is. I took a normal mountain bike, which cost 35 quid, it was a proper mountain bike, but they'd taken parts off it in Halfords. So it was £100, £150 bike, but because they'd taken parts off it to put on something else, to repair something else, they sell that bike on for 35 quid. Great. So I had that bike. Then I bought the motor, the mid-range motor, which goes on the pedals. That thing, I think it cost me about 400 quid, and the battery cost me about, was it 400 or 600 quid? I can't remember now. So the whole thing cost me about £1,000, but I was able to make it in my own time Whereas to buy something of similar spec, I think would cost you a couple of grand, you know. So I saved money, but I had to do the work myself. But at least I know the parts are replaceable as well, because if you buy something that's a finished product, then you have to go back to that manufacturer for the parts, and they're going to go, thank you very much, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Whereas if you buy one of these Chinese parts things, you know, like the Chinese electric bike thing, you're going to be able to get parts all day long, you know. They're going to be available very cheaply. So, yeah. Um, oh, so Duxco Quack says he's got 12,000 kilometers on it. He does 40 to 50 miles per hour. I bet you that is a hub motor rather than a pedal motor. I bet you. But yeah. Mm. Pompey says his electric bike. What, you mean the one that don't work? The one that never worked properly is 48 volts, 1500 watts, and does 40 miles. Except it really does more on average per year, about half a mile because it doesn't work. Sorry, but just got to tell it how it is. Yeah. Mm. Um, Scottish Dave says, I know you don't like football, but did I watch the Wales versus England game? No, because I don't really follow any sports. I heard it on the radio that Wales had lost quite badly. I don't give a shit. It means nothing to me. I think the idea that like one country versus another makes them proud is pathetic, to be honest. It's like, oh, we beat you in the football, so therefore you're shit now. Really? No, that kind of logic doesn't work for me. Um, oh, Duxco Quack says he's going to hope to get a 24 amp hour battery, which he's hoping to push 100 kilometers in one charge. Wow. Wiltshire Urban, yeah, nice to see you in. Hello, hello. We'll be seeing you on the weekend for an explore. Can't say any more than that. Um, mm, just looking down now. If you want to, yeah, it's a Bafang BBS HD 1000. All right, so that's the next one up from mine because mine's a 750. He's got the 1000. Um, peaks at 1450 watts on a 52-volt battery. I've got a 52-volt battery, but mine is 10 amp hours. But I'm only getting about 12 kilometers out of it, on average. So, yeah, he reckons he's getting like 40, 50 miles an hour out of his. Bloody hell. Don't know what the hell's going on there, but okay. Well, yeah, if you hammer them by going up those high speeds, they rape the battery. It really does run the battery down quickly. So I tend to find that doing 10 to 15 miles an hour, giving a little bit of pedal as well, and you can get those distances. But if you just go do all the work for me and you're doing 40 miles an hour, I would imagine you'd probably only do like about under 10 miles, way under 10 miles probably. And it depends if you're going uphill or downhill as well. So yeah. Um, hmm. Jackie should be on screen. Well, don't get what you mean there. Um, anyway, oh, can I pronounce that railway station? No, I've tried to, but I'm not an expert on it. So it's hang on then. Welsh station, long name. Right, here we go then. Llanfair Pwll Gwyn Gwyn Gwyngileoch Gwyn Rob Blolarthin Llant Silio Goch 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 Goch. Yeah. Llanfair Pwll Gwylgian Gilgoch O'r Drob Hwllant Silios Goch Goch Goch. Oh, whatever. Something like that. Yeah. Thank you for that. Oh. How's my dog? She's all right. she's not been enjoying me having to go off and do the probation stuff. She's left a couple of dumps in, so I've had clean up, and my neighbour's been looking after the dog whilst I've been away. So my neighbour today said, "Oh, she did a dump," so I've cleaned it up. So my neighbour actually cleaned up the dump, but yeah, that's what you do, though, isn't it? It's what you do. So she's all right. Yeah, she's just like a bit bored, I think. The fact that I've got to go off and do these things. So what can you do? What can you do? But I'm trying to make up for it, when I get back. Um, yeah, she's all right. She's her usual self, cantankerous self. She slept on the bed last night. It's like most of the time she comes in and she's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And then she goes out and sleeps outside, in the corridor. But last night she came in. She's like, "Okay, I'll get on the bed," and then she stayed for about 2 hours. And then when I turned over, she's like, got up. She's like, "Why did you wake me?" And then just like jumped off, got out. So she's her usual cantankerous self, yeah. But yeah, we got then new uploads. Who's that from then? Matt, do I still plan to do an explore with Frank Triggs? Yes, if I get down there, I will. I will. It's just having enough time and money to get to these places. This is why I'm trying to be a bit more sensible, because the bike actually really does cheer me up. Like going and exploring on the bike cheers me up. It's actually a good thing for adrenaline exercise. And if I can make a video out of it, and if you like them, that's magic for me, because I'm killing two birds with one stone. It's like good for me, and it could be good for you. That's why, and it's not costing me much money. Okay, I bought the motorbike, but it's something that to run it, to get that thing running then, and to do the explore isn't costing much money. Um, oh yeah, when am I putting my Tesla test drive up? Oh shit, I did start on it. I have actually started on it. Good point, actually. The intention was as soon as I can, but I need to catch up because Steve has put his video out of an explore we did the other day, and I need to catch up. So I'll be putting that one out, of a mansion, a millionaire's mansion, and then I probably will readdress that video. The big thing is I have to blank out the speed I'm doing, because yeah, so I have to kind of blank the speed out and follow it round, and then I have to watch it all again to make sure that I'm following it all. So it's going to be quite a boring video to watch, like to make sure the blurry thing is following the speed the whole time. That's why I've taken so long to do it, because it was just like, oh god, this is going to be painful having to do that. That's why it's taken me so long, because I've been avoiding it, because I'm having to not only make the speedo disappear, but I have to then watch it all back and make sure I've made the speedo disappear. It's just kind of those types of videos get a bit boring, technical ones. So yeah. Oh. Duck Quack says nothing better than a good bike ride. An e-bike more than a motorbike, though, as the freedom of being able to go almost nearly anywhere with it. Um, well, I think you can go almost anywhere with a big bike, as long as you know your limitations where you can go. I quite like a big bike, actually, because you get there a lot faster. And I get a bit bored with kind of like cycle along a track. It was different with the video I did of um, the canals, because there's so much to see. I mean, it's constant new boats, bridges, people. It's quite exciting. But if you're, say, for instance, I was going to Wales and I was going to go and do, somewhere up on top of the mountains, one of the forestry tracks. They've been used for the RAC rallies. The rally stuff. But I mean, they're bloody long and boring. There's nothing to see. It's just a gravel track. So I mean, that's where you wouldn't want to do a mountain bike, because I mean you'd be there for hours just looking at a gravel track. Whereas if you've got a motorbike, you can just whiz from location to location to location, job done. So I think everything, everything has its sweet spot, its purpose. That you know, I wouldn't want to go across Australia on a mountain bike. Definitely a motorbike, because I'd be there for years cycling otherwise. Mm. Duxco Quack says, with gearing I have on the e-bike, it is 40 to 50 miles per hour. Interesting. I don't know what gear you've got then, because I've got a huge gear and a tiny gear on the back, and that will do about 20 miles an hour. So I guess that extra 250 watts of power you've got on yours, but you're probably pushing yours, as you say, a bit more. Dog's body. Wow. Donated £25. Thank you very much. God, this sprag clutch, this this is feeling lighter and lighter. The more I feel it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. But yeah, I think everything's got its purpose. Like some places, like if you get to a fence, I could lift the e-bike over a fence. Whereas if I get to a locked gate or fence on a motorbike, that's it. I got to turn around, come back, and find another way, or go a completely different route. So everything has its defined purpose. It's like you've got to use the right tools for the right job, as it were. So, will I take the boat to Red Sands? I think I've done that now. I've done that enough. I wouldn't mind going to some of the other ones though. I wouldn't mind going to some of the different places. Um, Glenn said he was going to climb one of those things. He was quite happy he was going to climb up one of them. I was like, bloody hell. Now, I would go back there to take him if he wanted to, but I would let him climb up them. He's more into that than I am, and I mean I'd be quite happy to sit in the boat and make sure I'm there when he gets down. You know, I would be quite happy to do that really. So what was it? It's Grimham says Surf Ron EVS bike will do 58 miles an hour with an upgrade. Okay, yeah. Mm. Duck Skull Quack says 4211 rear cassette, 42 teeth front. I'll have to have a look what my front is. But it's a Lecky, and I upgraded it, so it's the biggest Lecky front they do, and I've also got pretty much the smallest back they do. So I'm 11 teeth. God, I think I don't know. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. Um, hmm. What's that? Long Way Round is a good bike program. Right. Okay. Uh, Long Way Round. That's on. Is that on YouTube? Long Way Round. Let me just have a look. Um, how many people we got? 298 in at the moment. Bloody hell, folks! Thank you for being here. Long Way Round. By the way, if you want to ask a question, Long Way Around. Let's have a look. Oh, Ewan McGregor. Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen some of these. Yeah, no, it was good. It's good. Seeing him have all the aggro trying to get into certain countries with visas and things like that. Yeah, yeah. No, he's a big bike. Yeah, a long way up. Different series. Yeah, long way round. I just can't do it. It says it's a clip. Yeah, it's. I have watched a couple of them. They are good, and I like them because it's like the challenge of doing something that requires the bike to be in perfect condition, and if it goes wrong, how do you fix it? And it's also that it's quite hard. It's quite involved riding a bike, and you've got to a lot more attention, a lot more energy being expended, like, looking at the road and things like that. And yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. It's an interesting challenge. Similarly, I think a really good challenge was the Round Britain um, rib boat race. Like rigid, you know, body inflatable boats. So they've got inflatable parts, but they've got a rigid underneath, and they can really take punishment. So like going into the waves and smacking up and down, bang, bang, bang. Medieval, bloody hell! Medieval donated £50. Christ, I think this part here is becoming almost like helium now. It's like getting really light. Wow, thank you very much. Um, what's it within? Thank you very much. That's all I can say. Thanks, mate. Bloody hell, that's mental. I don't know how you're donating. Are you all donating via PayPal? Yeah, well done, well done. Because it's definitely helps. I think so. That's the one which shows the fireworks. That's the PayPal one. I can never remember which one's which. So but well done, mate. Well done. He says, what have I? What is it? 301 watching. Wow. Go to Snowdonia. Yes, there you go. See, Snowdonia would be a good one. You go there and then you go up on the mountain bike, but I don't think you're allowed to ride up Snowdonia, are you? Tell me in the comments, are you allowed to ride some type of bike up Snowdonia or not? It won't be a motorbike, they won't allow that, I'm sure, but are you allowed to ride a mountain bike up Snowdonia? Is Fort Knock Sealand? Uh, I've heard it called different things. Um, I think that's this Fort Knock. Oh, hang on. Fort Knock images. Let's have a look. Oh no, it's Fort Knox. I think they're kind of, yeah, which is all underground really. Fort Knox. Yeah, Fort Knock. Hang on. Sorry, sorry. Fort Knock does look like Sealand. Yeah, that's Sealand. I'm fairly sure that's Sealand. That's the snuff that is, by the way. Screwing up my nose. Yeah, that's it. The only way you can get up there is by being winched up. There is no other way. So you have to actually arrange with them that you're going there and they'll winch you up. But it's very small. It's incredibly small. Mm. I wouldn't mind going there. I mean, that's where I got my title of Lord Matthew Williams from. Was from Sealand. So I'm officially a Lord. Lord Williams. You will refer to me as Lord Williams. Yeah. What is the CC on my motorbike? It's 250. Yeah. 250 cc. Yeah. Oh, Steve MC donates £5. He says, "What's the best beginner e-bike and an average price?" Oh, I really don't know the models, to be honest. I really don't know. There might be somebody else better suited for saying what to spend. Oh, D Evolve says, "Matt, it's welded shut now." Really? What do you mean? Fort Knock? So aren't they living on it? Aren't they there anymore? The people that run it? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Matt, I should arrange something with Carl and his brother Ant. They're always doing e-bike trips. Well, I didn't even know that Carl had an e-bike. He's never mentioned that. I've never knew that actually. So that's interesting. What's my best exploring of 2022? Oh my god. I'll have to let me just go back through my videos, right? I will look back through my videos and it will remind me because I've got a, you know, pretty poor memory until jogged. Let me just tell you which ones I've done which really got my interest up. So we've got the bikes videos. Oh, come on. Obvious, isn't it? Anchor. The anchor bunker. I mean, it stands out. Yeah, anchor. the Anchor Bunker. Wow. And yeah, if you haven't seen the Anchor Bunker, check it out. It's one of my most crazy explores this year. That was just something else, next level. Let's have a look. I liked the hospital ones. We did the Portsmouth Asylum. What was it called? Saint James's. That was good, and it had the little Masonic temple stuff. You know, the Masonic bits and pieces. And Kevin Coyd in Wales. Ah, superb, superb. A big old asylum. I mean, they're so massive, you can get lost. They are huge. They are huge. You know, I love a good asylum, a big old fashioned asylum. They're all going to get knocked down. So, I mean, get out there and do them, folks. Get out there and do those before they're gone, because there won't be anything to ever match those. Um, uh, I mean, I quite like the Crowley stuff, the Crowley house down in Cornwall. That was interesting. Just different, you know, unusual. Um, Monk's Park. Monk's Park. Oh, wow. Yeah, you know, Monk's Park, that is a special place, that. And it shows you what they can look like underground, what the military have them looking like, you know, when they're in use. Monk's Park is a very good example of just how good an underground thing can be. Yeah. So let's have a look what else we've got. Um, yeah. Finally got to see the Clifton Rocks Railway, Clifton Rocks Funicular Railway. The sort of like goes up at a slant, you know, and they have one railway carriage goes down whilst one comes up. That I've been wanting to see that for 20 years, so that was quite nice when I finally managed to get to see it. Um, Doing some of the abseil stuff, you know, learning how to abseil. Wow, you know, that has come in useful in ways that you are not yet aware of, because I have not brought out the videos and I cannot for a while. Reasons, trust me, the abseilings come in very handy, but I cannot tell you why. You will have to be patient. Oh, Filton Airport. I mean, there's so many good ones, isn't it? It's like, definitely Anchor is the best, right? But Filton Airport, that was great. You know, seeing all the old buildings and the old radar tower, the control tower, data centers. Oh wow, and the hangar. I mean, that hangar. Whoa, walking across the ceiling, like, you know, with like 150-foot drop. Wow, it was like, ah, underneath us. You know, just walking those catwalks. Whoa, that is just mental, mental. Oh, oh my God. Um, the rotor bunker at Portland Bill rotor bunker. Wow, wow. I think I'm one of the only people to do a proper video down there, you know, and I had to get special permission. That took a long time to get the permission to do that, but that was something. Yeah. Oh, Tottenham House was good. Tottenham House was big. Yeah. That was good. I mean, there's so many good ones. It's like it's got to be Anchor is the best, but then it's hard to kind of work out which one would top the next, like come in at number two. But I think Filton and Monk's Park, they're really high up there. Filton and Monk's Park. Yeah, Kevin Coyd. See, and it hasn't got a lot of views. You know, it's only got like 7,000 views. Kevin Coyd. If you haven't seen it, I mean, go and watch it. You know, it's yeah. Go and watch Kevin Coyd. It's like in 3 or 4 parts, you know, because it was so big. We did like a 4 hour explore. It's that big. It really is big. Um, yeah, I mean, go and check it out. Oh, sorry, part one had 12,000 views. But I mean, some of my bestest videos have had like 40,000 views. I can't understand why, like Kevin Coy, to me, it's a magical place, you know. It's magic. I can't understand why hasn't it got the same views? You know, it's doesn't make any sense to me. Um, yeah, the Dreadnought. Lots of photographers have done the Dreadnought. That's the underground tunnel in Bristol that goes on for 2.5 miles. Yeah, and it's like a drainage tunnel, you know, 2.5 miles. Lots of people have photographed it over the years and made it look so amazing, but we videoed it from end to end so you don't miss any bits. And you can kind of see, oh, I see, that photographer was there with lots of lights and made this look sexy, you know, but it's like it doesn't look so sexy in the video, but that's the beauty of video because you get to see it how it really is, not how it's been sexed up to be, how it really is. But I think, you know, we're the only people who've done the whole thing, you know, no bits cut out, and you can see it's like, you know, people have had fantasies about this place because they've seen the photos, but the photos give you a false sense of what's actually there. So anyway, I'm going to scroll up now and because I mean I don't know what else have we done. We done Red Sands. That was crazy, didn't we? I think that was this year. Red Sands. Did we do Red Sands this year? I think we did, didn't we? Yeah. Uh, what else we got? Langdon Hole. That was an old 361. That one. Sorry. Um, some of the cinemas, you know, yeah, some cinemas like the Bike Cinema, the Edgecombe Hotel. Oh, I love a good hotel. The Edgecombe Hotel is a classic old hotel, like literally falling apart. Superb, superb. God, you know. Oh, BA. That was it. That was this year. BA in Heathrow. Wow, that can't be forgotten. You know, like there's been so many good ones we've done this year, like BA Heathrow. You know, the simulators, the aircraft simulators. Wow. Yeah, I mean, like I can't believe that, you know, you forget these things until you actually scroll back through and you go like, wow, actually, like that's amazing. The Dudley Hippodrome, you know, that was amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Dover tunnels, you know, some of those old Dover tunnels. Yeah, there's just like, wow. Yeah, I got more views. Wow, which one did I get? I can't believe this. I didn't even realize this. I had 186,000 views on the secret government tunnels few have seen under Dover, the DOE. I never even knew I had that many views on that video. That's crazy. That is second to the Drakelow, which had like 800,000. That's one of the highest rated videos on my channel. It's the second highest rated video, and I didn't even know. I had no idea that had taken off. Wow, that's just crazy. Anyway, the slate mines in Monofferin, you know, they're there. Part 1 of 3 only had 8,000 views. It's massive. That place was huge. That tunnel, you know, the quarry. Sorry, quarry mine. 8,000 views. See, it's really hard to tell how your videos are going to kind of knock John Ford in the Thames. Yeah, well, it's kind of the Thames, isn't it? It's actually out, you know, where Sealand is. I mean, it's kind of, you know, out that way, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, Filton. Olifab says Filton was amazing. Mm. Mm. He misses Ant's mountain biking rides, but Carl told him he's into kayaking now. Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah, fair enough. Well, we all change our what we get, what we enjoy from time to time, isn't it? It's always good to keep yourself fresh. But exploring with Kenny, abseiling, my favourite thing, mate. We got some shit coming for you. You are not going to believe. In fact, we've got some secret explores in the bag. which we're not going to bring out because we want to do more with them. Yeah. And yeah, trust me, you are not going to be disappointed when you see them, but we are keeping our cards close to our chest at the moment. We've had some amazing results with some things, but yeah, we're gonna shock you when you see some of these new things we've got coming out. But it's going to take time. Just be patient because, you know, yeah, reasons. You will find out in the end. We will tell you. Yeah. The sneaking around Portland videos were good. Yeah, mate, you've got no idea. You've got no idea. There's stuff that I never put out from down there. You have no idea. Yeah. You've got no idea. Anyway, this is getting warm. I need another beer probably. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Right, what's going on? Burlington. Well, it is, but he did specifically ask me from 2022. What have I done in 2022? That was the question. So yeah, my Burlington video is like an all-time explore, But the ones I've actually filmed to be able to put up, that's yeah. What's somebody say something about Gurkha security? Oh, Magavelli or Machiavelli. He says, Matthew, you're a legend. You deserve the views. You're the best bunker buster around for love from Chicago. Well, oh, that's very kind. I mean, I think there's a lot of other people who've done these places, but I don't, there's doing them and there's proving you've done them and filming them. That's the thing, isn't it? It's like, we could all probably get into Burlington for about 5 minutes, run around and run out and run away, but that's not really going to be it, is it? It's like if you're going to do it, it's like, haha, see, I did it. I got in there and out, in out. That's not really, to me, fully exploring it. And to fully explore it, you should be filming it and showing it to people. Then you've done it. I don't consider. Some people have got into Burlington recently, but I don't consider what they put up on their channel as a real video because it's like, is that it? Is that all you did? Really? That to me is kind of like, well, you touched the perimeter, but you didn't really, you know, you didn't really prove that you've done it all and filmed it all. That's the thing. It's like it's not just to sort of like, oh, I've been there. It's like, no, I've been there and done it all. That's the thing. So, yeah. Michael So says, was there another Portland video that didn't come out online? Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yes. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll feel like time's gone on long enough and I can probably put it out. But yeah, there's definitely another video that needs to one day make it to the net. So yeah. Steve MC says, I love your channel because you don't do the psychic terrorism stuff. Just cooler stuff, Urbex. Love your videos. Love Scotland. Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you very much. God, your icon. You look like Down Under. You look like Mr. Down Under Explorer. With your icon there. Roger Cook says, "Am I rich?" I don't think that is Roger Cook because I actually know Roger Cook personally, and I bet you that is not the Roger Cook because he wouldn't just come on and say that. He knows I'm not rich. He knows I'm not rich. Oh yeah, it's at the Cook reporting. That's not Roger Cook. It's his photo, but it's not him. It's not him. I don't know. One day maybe I'll get him on you. I'll say, hey, come and do a live stream with us. He'll probably be like, oh yes, but you'll be talking about all stupid stuff. Do you know what he says? Do you know what Roger Cook says to me? He goes, Matt, you're very good at what you do, but you talk too much. That's what he says. You talk too much. You should say less, but mean more. I was like, okay. But the thing is, see, Roger, you've got to cram it into a 40-minute show with adverts, right? This is YouTube. I can talk as much as I want. So there we go. Yeah. All right. He says, Roger Cook. No, I'm not the real Roger, but he's a good chap. Well, it's nice to know that you appreciate him by putting his photo there. But I actually know Roger. I actually know him, and he's a really nice chap. Helping with his computer stuff. He runs into trouble and rings me up and says, like, I've got this PDF file and it won't open. And I said, well, do you have Adobe Reader installed? He goes, I don't know. And I said, well, why don't you download it and install it? And then it's like, and you don't hear from him again then. So it's like, yeah, that fixed it. Quite simple. I know you're all laughing now, but it's like, yeah, I like the simple ones. It's like, yeah, I can't open this file. Well, do you have the relevant software to open it? Oh, I don't know. It's like, well, put it on and then it will work. There you go, Roger. No, he's a great guy though. Love his. That's another thing, you see. Roger Cook was an influence on me many years ago, watching his stuff on TV where he was just like chasing down criminals and going to places and just like walking in there, bold as brass, and just going like, well, I'm filming, I don't care. And they're like, you can't film here, get out. And he's like, well, we are filming, so tough luck, And that's the kind of attitude I like to have with my videos. It's like, well, I'm filming, what's your problem? There's no reason to say I can't film. Tough, So, yeah. Oh, PR Oliver says someone blocked him. What were you saying then? What were you up to for somebody to block you? Are you winding up the moderators or something? I don't know. Oh dear. Yeah. I think it was Tim the Pigeon Master. You must have wound him up. What did you say to Tim? What did you say to him? Oh, yeah, you can't. Yeah, I see what it is. Yeah, you can't. Don't attack the moderators because it will end badly. That's all I will say. If you attack the moderators, it's going to end badly. Don't attack the moderators. Yeah, there we are. They're telling you why now. They're telling you why. Yeah, there we are. Mouthing off of Tracy. You can't. You got to remember they hold the reins of power. They hold the all the reins. So if you start telling them like you ain't got no right to shut me down, they'll be like block. So just remember, they do have the power, and I can't always. I can't always be there. They're watching stuff, and different people have different views and opinions on things, and they will do what they. Oh, there we are. Uh oh. See, you got to reel that neck in, and you'll be all right. But if you're gonna go head to head with the mods, it's not going to end well. And I know you're on here a lot, so I mean, just go make a cup of tea, mate. Go make a cup of tea, right? Have a relax. Go meditate on it, and then just go. Here's my question, Matt, but just don't attack the mods. It'll be all right. I know you're on here a lot, so have another go. Have another go when you've calmed down a bit. The pipe tunnel in Somerset got 13k. Oh, that's not bad, is it? But the thing is, see, this is it. I'm not looking through my channel to go like, oh, what's got millions of views. I look back as far as 2 or 3 videos I've done, and then once they start disappearing down the line, I just don't know what they're at then. I really have. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, is it? Right, okay. Well, shit happens. Shit happens. Don't worry about it. Just don't engage. Don't engage. Talk to me. Don't engage the mods. Mm. Don't worry. You might be right. You might be wrong, but just don't engage the mods. Yeah. Uh, Jigsaw Kid 95 says, "Is it morally okay to shoplift in big supermarkets?" Well, I don't know. Is it? You're asking me. If you were starving, I would say no. No. If you were starving and you needed to eat, I would say go and do it. But the chances are you'd probably get caught, because it's usually pretty obvious the people who've got no money hanging around in supermarkets. So just go to a charity shop, get some nice clothes, go and do what you got to do, and make sure you eat. You know? Yeah, that's what I'd say. Is it morally wrong? Is it morally wrong to starve? I would say not. No, sorry, it's not a bad thing if you're starving. Yeah, but anything above that, you know, if you can't afford to live, if you can't afford to feed yourself, then I would say it's not morally wrong. But if you can afford to live, and it is within your means, then maybe it's morally wrong. Yeah. So, History Hunter Down Under says, have I ever seen a big red Aussie Roo ask? Have you ever seen a big red Aussie Roo? Ask Matt. They are huge, with huge nuts. Yes, I've got some testicles. Yeah, they were sent to me from Australia. This is actual kangaroo testicles, but they're about the same size as mine. Now I've checked. Now I've compared. They're about the same size. So yeah. So there we go. Right. It's 1 hour to go till the midnight time, and I'm gonna cut it off at midtime because you know, and all that. Snarnock says, have I ever met Gareth, Reeves, or Niall from the Mindset podcast? I know I've met Ben Emily. Yes, I've met Gareth 2 occasions. I've met Reeves on 2 occasions. Niall, I'm not sure. And yes, Bemlin. Yeah. I'm not sure about Niall. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah. Kenneth Gardner says 3 meals and a bed. Well, that's it. You know, if you're struggling, you know, and you need, you know, if you go to jail, you'll get fed well. You know what I mean? So it's like living on the streets, jail. I can understand why some people would shoplift, because the ultimate thing is, if you get caught, you'll end up in jail. You'll be better off. You know, you'll have warmth, you'll have food, and all the rest of it. So yeah. Pompey says, Dinkum hasn't told me the truth. They're his testicles. Oh, that's fair enough then. Right. Well, maybe we can extract some genetics out of them and create a Dinkum clone. We'll clone Dinkum from these testicles. Yeah. Okay. What's going on? Don't want to know about his strange habits. Oh dear. Was the Roo balls? Yeah. Was it unrelated? It was probably the snuff. But I'm gonna go and get some more beer. I'm gonna drain the lizard. Get. Oh, Houses of Parliament was on TV tonight, was it? Oh God. It was blown up in a television programme. Oh right, I see. Yeah. Well, Guy Fawkes nearly got it right. That's all I can say. Nearly got it right. Yeah. What about food supermarkets? I know people who used to regularly go through the bins of the supermarkets and get out the food, and they used to live like kings, you know. But yeah, some supermarkets are bastards. They chop the food up before they put it in the bins, and some of them have been known to put bleach on the food. But the thing is, if anybody got ill from that, they would be done for, you know, trying to poison people. So, you know. Mark H says, my drone videos are good with the PC3 music. Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah. What's Drain the Lizard? Yeah. I'll show you, if you come around my house, I'll let you watch. That's all I can say. So on that note, on that bombshell, I'm going to get another can, and we shall see you in a minute. Oh, I'll put some music on for you. Why don't I? Have we got different music? Let's see. Which music have I got? that one. Oh, different music. A dog following us for obvious reasons, because what do you reckon? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? I couldn't resist. See, this is the trouble. See, I was like a late night snacker. This is what's stopping me losing the weight, because I just can't resist. This stuff is so addictive. Here, go on. Okay, bugger it. Give her it. Just give her off. It's easier than trying to rip it off. Listening to this music in a crowded elevator, your face. Sorry, folks. I love that taste. Oh, I reckon they should make burgers out of this stuff. Oh, they should make like McDonald's burgers out of just like a slice of salami with some cheese on it. It would sell much better than the bloody beef burgers they're selling, because they just taste like cardboard. Oh. You can chew it and chew it and chew it, and the taste just keeps coming out of it. It's like, oh. Can't keep chewing a beef burger and having the taste come out of it, can you? Dog's like, give now. You want some, dear? You want some? You gonna come in for the kill? She is. What are you doing down here then? Well, hello, Steve. Sorry. How long do I feel emotionally drained after a house abandonment explore or similar personal intact abandonment explore? Um, hmm, that's an interesting question. Um, yeah, she is starving. Go on. It depends what you mean. Do you mean, this is what I can't understand. Do you mean, um, I'll answer it both ways then. Sorry. Uh, oh, PR Oliver, come on. You're never gonna get past them with that sort of thing. Come on. Direct your attention towards me. Stop having a go at the mods. It's never gonna work out. It's never gonna work out. Right. Okay. So to answer that question, I've got one more piece of this stuff left, but I'll save it for a minute. Exploring with the camera gear, and you know, it's just physically it takes a little bit out of you. You know, you have to drive there, do the explore, come back. It's not horrifically, demanding, but or similar personal intact abandonment explore. I don't know. I mean, um, I was wondering whether you meant like, do I get any sort of like spiritual or psychic kind of, draining? And I would say no, not really. Even when I've been down to places like the Zena house, with the Crowley. Nope, not really. Not had much being drained of energy. No, I wish I could report that. I mean, physically, I'm a bit overweight, and maybe I'm not as fit as I should be. So, like walking to these places and doing the exploring things. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I can get a bit sweaty sometimes because I always dress like for heat, so I've got enough heat, and that can sometimes be a bit heavy. And I'm carrying the camera gear sometimes, with a bad back. I usually get a bad back from sort of walking around for a while, or standing in one place for too long. But apart from that, no, I would just say, it's yeah, as long as it's not, you know, as long as it's not a mile walk to get to the place from the car, then in general, I would say that I don't really get that tired. Um, I can act a bit moany when my back is playing up and things like that, and I could say, I could say like, oh, like climbing to the top of 20 floors of like Five Ways Tower in Birmingham. I mean, you'll hear me moaning, going like, oh Jesus, Jesus, oh, and all that. But it is what it is. You've got to do it. You're going to get knackered. It is a long slog. Um, and if I was a bit lighter weight, I think I'd probably be able to do it a bit easier. So another good reason to be trying to take off a few kilos here and there. So, but yeah, I wouldn't really say. Uh, he does say emotionally drained. Sorry, let me just reread this. So, do you feel emotionally drained? Um, Emotionally, not physically. Then emotionally. Um, I quite like what I do. I quite like the doing it. I quite like the going to see these places, and I quite like the experience. So even though I might tell people that it's rather sad that these places are kind of abandoned, um, it doesn't really hurt me, you know, emotionally. It's just it's the the inevitability of kind of places closed down, the wrong person's got their hands on it, they sit on it, it becomes derelict, the roofs leak, they probably want it for insurance. But I mean, what can I do? All you can do is say to people, it's just very sad, but I can't change any of that. So it's one of those things that you kind of you get on with. You tell people that it's very sad that this is happening, but it's not like I'm going to give up because it's depressing. I still think they're great places to go from an exhilaration point of view. Excitement, a little bit of danger of getting caught, in them, and I think that keeps you going. Like the excitement, you like the look of the building, you like the feel of it, and even though it might be in a horrible state, all you can say is, "Isn't it a shame?" Isn't it a shame? But it wouldn't stop me from exploring them just because they're trashed. You know, I think they have a lot more character when they're trashed in some ways. It's like if they were all prim and proper, then it would almost be like exploring a hotel, like exploring a Holiday Inn or something, a working building, and going, well, here we are in a working Holiday Inn. Um, it's kind of like um, some of the atmosphere is created by the decay. It kind of adds to it. So, in many respects, it's kind of if you think you're in somewhere that people have worked for a very long time, that people have toiled and put a lot of effort into the creation of the building, working in the building when it was created, and for all that to be just gone, it's like a vacuum of like that's where I feel the emotion is kind of like what used to go on here. Can you imagine what this place would have been like when it was full of people, and busy, um, and now for that to be turned on its head, and that there are no people here and there's no activity. We are the only activity, whereas this place would have been a hive of activity. I think that's interesting. Yeah. So yeah. Um, Paul Wilson White says, I liked your military stuff and when you go out in your boat around the Navy ports. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I've got to do more of that, to be honest. It's just we've done some easy places, but we need to do some harder places. And the River Severn is a thing I want to do that is it's finding the right time and the place to put the boat in the water. Yeah. Did I know there's a Burlington in USA? I believe I did. Yeah, I think so. Yes. Um, why do I know the name Burlington from the USA? Is it because it's a clothing brand or something like that? Burlington. Hmm. Yeah. Patrick McCarthy says, nicely put. I feel a strong sense of sentimentality with these places. It's like the theatres. You can imagine how many thousands of people, every night have sat in these places and felt like massive emotions, in these places. And yeah, oh, this smells good as well. You can just, it wafts up. It's great stuff. I'm gonna. Sorry, folks. Let's put the dog out to the misery because the dog is right here. Let's put the dog out to the misery. There you go. That's it. All gone. All gone. She's like, I go now. I go now. Oh, stay, stay. Going. Hmm? I haven't got nothing. It's all gone. Hmm. That's it now. Anyway, right. Burlington retail stores. Or maybe that's what it was. Yeah. Hmm. What explorer's been the biggest letdown? Oh, wow. So that's a hard one. Hmm. I tell you, I tell you the one that I actually haven't put it on the channel. I'll have to dig it out, see if I've got the footage. I might have the footage from somewhere. Hmm. one of the biggest letdowns was the pyramids in Egypt. I just thought they were crap. I didn't rate it at all. I mean, they're tiny. They're tiny. I know they look big. Yeah, she's gonna go now. Go on, get your bum out. Go on. Right. They're tiny. Uh, I know those blocks probably did make a lot of effort to lift them up and put them in place and all this sort of thing. But I mean, but it's not massive. You know, it's not like on the scale of Buckingham Palace, and it's not on the scale of a lot of places. I mean, like, you know, a lot of places dwarf the pyramids, and I wasn't that impressed, to be honest. I'm just tell it how I see it. I thought it was a flea pit, you know, Egypt in general. So it was a horrible sort of existence and a horrible place, really, in general. Smelly, horrible, grimy, you know. And yeah, just seeing that out in the desert, and I'm like, wow, I thought I'd be looking at something, I'd be going, wow, how did they ever do that? And I'm thinking, it's not that big. I mean, yeah, it'd probably be a pain in the arse, but it's not that big. You know, I'm kind of thinking, yeah, you could definitely make that. So all these people who kind of go like, oh, how did they build the pyramids? It's just, oh, how did they do it? How did they do it? What they do is they get rocks and they square them off and then they lift them up, push them on ramps, and then job done. It's like it didn't seem to me. There we are, Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab said, I thought the same when I went to Giza. I'm like, it's not that it's not that big a thing. Oh, beggars, yes. Did we get the beggars selling things, nuisances? Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yes, we did. Yeah, it was, and the taxi drivers trying to rip us off and taking you the long route instead of the short route so they can charge you more money. And oh, yeah, it's a bollocks. It's a load of bollocks, really. Um, oh, Keymad says the blocks were poured in place. Wow. Fort Boyard. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, but that's a long way out. That one. That is a long, long way out in the sea. That's not like the ones we've been going to so far. Fort Boyard is a bit of a different kettle of fish. So yeah. Oh yes. Would I like to try Highgate Cemetery? Yeah, actually, I wouldn't mind because of the stories of the Highgate vampire and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, you know, you can get in there. I'm sure it's definitely, you know, you'll be able to get in there. Um, I wouldn't mind trying that actually. Yes, now you mention it. Good point. It's one of those things. It's on my bucket list. You know, I wouldn't mind doing it. But the thing is, see, I mean, you can go in there in the day, and you could probably get locked in there, so you could be there in the night. So it wouldn't be that hard to kind of just get to stay there. But no, I'd like to get in there when it's locked, just for the fun. You know, like this is how we did it. You know, on my boblov in the dark, climbing around. You know, like yay! This is how we got in here. You know, that's what I'd like to do. Mm. Polish salami and Berliner sausage are good for keto. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Pepperami and salami, as long as they're made with just the standard ingredients like just salt, fat, and meat, you know, that's it. Yeah. Check my PayPal. People have been donating. Oh my God. Have they? Have I not heard it come through then? Let me just have a look then. I'll thank everybody. If they have, it'll come up on this special window I've got here. Hang on. Oh, how do I do that then? Oh, here we go. So let me see if this is Steve MC, £5, £5, £5. Medieval, £50. Dog's Body, £25. Thank you very much. History Hunter, Down Under, £10. £10, £2. Bucharest, £2. Catherine, £5. Tracy Jackson, £10. Mark Urbex, £10. Wow. And then we got a few days ago then. So I don't know. I shall check it. Let's have a look then. See if there's any that haven't shown up. But if you do it through StreamYard, it will show up on the stream. It will actually say thank you on the stream. But if you haven't, then maybe there are some that have slipped through the net of people who actually donated one to one. What's going on here? Oh, I've got a new keyboard, by the way. Right, I've got a new keyboard. Oh, it won't show it. There it is. Go on, show it. Show it. It glows in the dark. So let the keys glow, but it's quite bright. It's quite bright, whereas my other one was kind of like a little bit tepid. But I got it second hand, and the T and the S key weren't. You had to hit them really hard. So I've put some alcohol in there, and they seem to be behaving themselves now. I think they've cleaned up. So, wow, bloody hell! I think people have sent me money to the tune of like it's paid for the Sprag clutch at least. Wow, bloody hell! Susan, thank you very much for your £10 donation. John, for yours. I don't want to give the names because some of the people who's got they donate by this method. It gives me their full name, so I don't want to. So John, thank you for your donation. Simon, my God, again, thank you. Daniel, thank you. Drew, Mark, Diane, Mark Urbex, and yeah, I think that's Mr. Mr. S from Rawton, should we say? Yeah, Mam Nan, I think that is. So thank you very much. Wow. All I can say is you blow me away. You literally do blow me away with your generosity because that has basically really paid for the Sprag clutch. So, wow. Thank you very much. Cherry M Swix, blow compressed air into the things. Well, they're basically like crosses. They're like crosses. So when you take the key off, there's a cross underneath, and the cross goes down into a space. So I'm not sure what that is. Whether it's mechanical or whether that's what they call it, membrane or something. Yeah, you'll tell me in the chat now. Yeah, it's called a Razor Black Widow Stealth V2 or something. What's the favourite hospital care home you've explored? Well, care homes probably have to be the one in Cornwall, which has now been demolished. That was a nice care home. That was a good one. So I think care homes, other care homes. Which other care homes have we done? Yeah, that was probably. Yeah, it's a mechanical keyboard then. Yeah, okay. You push the cross in and blow air. Mechanical. All right then. Well, I'll take the keys off tomorrow, and I will get my air compressor, and I will jam it down and I have got spray spray dust air actually, but I don't know if I've got the I'll have to find a tube for it. If I find the tube, I'll use that. Yeah, good stuff. All right, good ideas. Good ideas. Thank you, everybody. So, what's this? Snarlock says the Joseph Davovitz Geopolymer Institute YouTube channel. They recreated a full size block to prove it. Okay, fair enough. Go. There you go. Did you notice the other night when I was doing this, my voice went down? Let me see if I can do it again, right? So I'll take a normal breath and I'll speak normally, and it just went down. So hang on a second, right? So anyway, my voice has now gone down. My voice has gone down in pitch because of the thing, and it's come back up now. You see, it's a weird thing we learned the other night is that doing vapes makes your voice go down. That's weird, isn't it? Mm. Medieval says now it's a don't care home. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, oh, my head's spinning. Oh, my head is spinning. Bloody hell. When did I start the old vapes? Well, Jordan left one by accident here. I was just tempted to see whether or not I could do it without choking myself out. Now I'm tolerant to it now. I can do it without coughing my guts out, as you can see. Yeah. I should do a bloopers video. Always fun watching the security get the runaround. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Let your lungs actually have a chance to absorb it. LOL. Oh, bloody hell. Hang on then. Yeah, nothing's come out now. There we are. It's all the chemicals making me dizzy, probably. Yeah. It's pooberry. Yeah, blackberry or something. Oh, right. There we are. Um, what's that? It's actually freaking me out a little. What's freaking you out? Sorry. Have you seen some of the fully stocked bunkers that Share's done overseas? Yes, I have. Yes, interesting. But the thing is, they take it a bit more seriously than we do over here, and they don't. Britain, when they finish with a bunker, they empty it. Like abroad, they go, oh well, we don't want that anymore. They just leave all the stuff in it, which is kind of funny. Mm, yeah. Well, all I can say is some of you should watch the parliamentary discussions on the subject of COVID. Watch the parliamentary discussions on the subject of COVID, and it's very interesting. Mm. Daniel says, "I'm vaping on my new box at 60 watts. I have had a massive coughing fit earlier. Almost coughed a lung up. Ugh. This is starting to buzz me. Actually, I'm like, I don't know whether it's the booze and this together. What spec PC am I running these days? I am running. Um, hang on. I don't think I got CPU ID, but it's something like a Ryzen. Which I can't remember now. Hang on. Let me see if I got CPU. I. Oh no. Hang on. I'll tell you which processor. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Go into system. So like a 5,000 or 6,000. No, it's a 5950, 16 cores with hyperthreading, and it's supposed to run at a base speed of 3.4 gigahertz, but very often it's running more at 4 gigahertz because I've got a very good cooler on there, a very, very quiet cooler. It's a Noctua. Um, it can run at the turbo speeds and doesn't really get hot. I've got 64 gigs of RAM in it, DDR5. Um, so yeah, not bad. Not bad. It's like having 32 cores, basically 32 threads, 16 core, and I got a 39. What's the graphics card in here? It's a 3970, is it, or something, or 39? What's the GPU? 3090. Sorry, it's a 3090 RTX. So yeah, quite nice. Editing in Premiere, a dream. Yeah, there we are. Mm, yeah. But the nine, was it the 5950? It still buggers up when I'm doing a heavy render. The audio becomes 8-bit. And it had this problem worse on the 3950. It used to go really, really badly when I was rendering, and it would chop out and become 8-bit. So if I'm watching a movie whilst rendering or watching YouTube, it would all become very tinny. And the only way to get around it would be to disable the audio and re-enable the audio, and it would come back for a bit. It's not as bad on the 5950, but they've still got quite a bit of work to do to stop that happening on these processors. They're not really perfect, but it doesn't crash. I mean, I can go for, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks sometimes, without having to reboot the machine. And that's editing and having 50 tabs open in Firefox and live streaming and doing all the things I do. Not a problem. I just shut down whatever I'm not using and carry on. Just don't need to reboot it. It's great. Touch wood, he says. So yeah. Mm. What boat outboard do I have? It's a 25 Yamaha 4-stroke on the bigger boat, and the smaller boat has a 10, because I blew up the old 10. I got a new 10 Mercury, but the 10 Mercury I've got coughs and farts. It's not a happy teddy, so I don't know what the deal is there. Maybe I should put in some higher octane fuel or something. But show us my truncheon. Okay. I can show you. I can show you a. I can show you my Freemasonic. Well, not Freemasonic. It's the Royal Institute of the Buffaloes. I can show you this truncheon if you want. I want to get this. I want to get this put into a. Oh, hang on. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn off the bloody thing, aren't I, for you to see this, because it's not gonna in a frame and stick it on the wall. So I think it's kind of funky. It's kind of cool. It's like Secret Society, the Ancient Order of the Buffaloes. Ancient Order of the Buffaloes. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Grand Lodge of England. Blah blah blah. Yeah. I want to get that in a frame. Stick it on the wall. I think it looks kind of funky. It's like, oh look, Secret Society shit on the walls. Yeah. I would like to get one from the Freemasons actually. I don't know if they do the same sort of thing. Oh no, I wasn't going for the flashlight. That was the obvious. That's what I was thinking you wanted me to do. No, no, that's what I thought you meant. So I thought, no, yeah. Um, well, saying that, people are saying, well, what is it? You can get these sorts of things on eBay. You can get like, let me see whether they've got any like Freemasonic regalia. You can get the aprons and you can get the books, and so it's like Freemason. I don't know, Freemasonic ring, Freemasonic scroll. Let me see if they've got any scroll. Freemason scroll. Uh, they got a silk banner. They got books about it. Books, 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 books. No. So what would it be called then? What would it be called? Scroll, certificate, certificate. Oh, here we are. Certificate of United Grand Lodge of England Freemason. Ooh, yeah. Certificate of a Grand Master, 22 quid. So yeah, that's what I want. Some of this shit. An 1885 Freemason certificate, £416. An ancient one, old one. Hmm. Royal Arch Mason certificate. Whoa. See, they're all on there. It's all on there. Ooh, an 1893 Freemason Supreme Council 33 degree. Ooh, 600 quid. Ooh. Yeah. There's a lot of them on, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. Oh, somebody's got a 1866 Royal Arch Mason Certificate Washington chapter for $666, 66 cents. Can you believe that? Bloody hell. Bloody hell. You know what I mean? I just think these things are fun, like funny to have on the walls. Like, look, I'm not a Freemason, but I've got all their shit. You know what I mean? Mm. Go and buy them, folks. Buy them, and if you don't like them, you can send them to me. There we are. Yeah, I'm gonna, I'm gonna go for that. I reckon. I, yeah, yeah. I can't resist. Sorry, folks. I can't resist. I'm gonna have that. I just want all this shit on my walls. I think it's just funky shit, like weird shit. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna have that. Shouldn't really, you know. Dinkin says I only use 98 octane premium fuel. Well, I'm gonna have to use the supreme fuel now. I've been told don't use normal fuel because it's with a ethanol or whatever it is. Whatever biofuel. It's rotting the rubbers and it's not very compatible. So I've been told use the higher stuff. So I'm going to use that now and I'll see whether it runs better. So it's running all right, but it might run smoother. It might run better. So I'll do it. See what we get. Right then. So we're saying, how do I want to pay for this? So I'll pay for it with my PayPal balance. Oh, that's weird. Huh. Oh, okay. Why not? Sorry, I'm spending some of your hard-earned money here that was for the bike. I'm spending it on something I'm going to stick on my wall. Naughty, but there we are. Mm. But I have access to somewhere where I can get cheap frames now. Cheap, like spanky frames. So I'll get a cheap spanky frame, like a gold, a gold leafed frame for it. And we'll stick it on the wall. Yeah, I like shit like that. I do like shit like that. I'm gonna. It says it also makes the motor run cooler. Yeah, use the lead replacement stuff. Well, we can't get lead replacement here in the UK. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, still got mine somewhere in the archives. Here we are. Oh, somebody said Lee Bridgewater says my granddad was a member of the Buffs. We had that on our wall for years when I was a kid at home. There you go. There you go. Nice. Ethanol, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Ooh. Hello. It says, hello, Matthew Williams, my friend. What is my favourite beer? My favourite beer is the one that tastes nice and is cheap. So generally, that tends to be 4 cans for £2.50 or £3 in Lidl's. Great. That's what I like. Nice and cheap. I used to like Guinness, but I've kind of switched over to drinking lager these days. I used to drink a lot of yeah. I think this is a real one. The one I've just ordered, which was 20 quid. It's the certificate, but it also comes with two lodge books as well, which are like little things like from the lodge telling you about lodge stuff. So I thought, oh, that'd be good because I can have a little read through that then and see what they're on about, see what stuff they were talking about. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Yeah. Oh. Barry Todd says, am I going to be doing more stuff on the bike? Yes, absolutely. 100%. I've got the parts for the bike, as I've been showing earlier on. If you didn't see, new motor because my motor stripped the starter motor. It was probably on its way out, when I bought it, and who knows whether the guy who sold it to me knew this or not. Probably because it was like when you stop the bike, it sort of goes. So you're running it, it'll go click, and that sort of when you shut it down, it should just shut down. But if it goes shut down, click, that click is what people call a bang, and that click is the sprag clutch catching when it shouldn't be, and it's basically stripping the teeth off the motor. So now I've got all the parts. I'm going to fit them, and then this bike should start without a click and stop without a click, and then we will not be stripping the motor. So I will be doing a lot more hopefully that motor might even be a bit more oomphy. It might be turn over a bit quicker. And my final thing will be I'll change the battery, because you just don't know how good or bad the original battery in there was. So I'll change the battery as well, and then we should be cooking with gas, as they say. Yamaha spares are so expensive. Yeah, well, that's it. But I have got a bike that, people say is like a kind of bomb-proofish bike. So if you look after it, it should be sort of semi-bomb proof. It's had a lot of miles on it, so maybe I'm the first person to ever change that sprag clutch. So it's been bomb proof for several thousand miles up to this point. So yeah. What non-urbex channel do I recommend on YouTube? I really like watching Richard Dolan, the UFO guy. I watch a lot of his videos. They're very long, very detailed. Richard Dolan, he's a good guy. I like his stuff. I used to like watching Alex Belfield for entertainment. He used to bring you the news but with an entertaining twist. But unfortunately, he's doing 5 years in jail. So we've got, if he gets out on good behaviour, 2.5 years. So we won't be getting any more updates from him for a while. But I do watch pretty much every day. I watch Maya Tuzi, who he does this politics and news, similar to Alex Belfield, but he's a bit more straight-laced, But I watch Maya Tuzi, and he is fast becoming one of the biggest news broadcasters on YouTube for, UK news, but not with the BBC spin. He says, Shrimp Stack says, we're taking the motorbikes up on Salisbury Saturday. I would like to, but it would have to be in the morning if the bike's running, because in the afternoon I have stuff I have to do. So maybe get in touch with us on email and give us your telephone number, and I'll give you a shout, and maybe we can sort something out, and maybe we'll meet up. Yeah. So let me know. Let me know. Give us a shout. Um, I could drive valve saver as used in LPG engines. Valve saver. Let me just have a look what that is. Sounds interesting. Valve saver fluid. Wins dry fever. Flash lube valve saver. 5 litres of ESGI valve saver. Flash lube. Let me just have a look what it does. Okay. You have a little. Is an upper cylinder lubricant and cleaner formulated to minimize valve seat recession in LPG, CNG, and petrol controlled vehicles. Contains a combination of additives that cleans fuel injectors, fuel systems, increase fuel economy, and reduce emissions. Okay. All right, I'll have a look into that. Somebody told me to run it on a high octane and put some Red X in there. So that's what I was looking to do. Valve saver is an oil that drips into your throttle. Right. Drips into my throttle. Okay. But don't you just mix it in with the fuel? It's for LPG systems. Okay. Yeah. There we are. Punches. Hello, sir. Go for a GRL battery bike. Battery for my bike. GRL battery. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gel batteries. Oh, gel. Not a GRL. A gel. Gel batteries are better. Okay. Yes, I have watched. Here we are. Look, my voice is now down low again. It's probably back up now. There we are. Bald and Bankrupt. Yes, I like his stuff when he goes around Russia and he speaks Russian. And yeah, that's quite good. I think he has been asking people what they think about the war. So yeah. What do I think about the videos of people coming out of China rising up against the tyranny? Yeah, they will rise up, but unless there's a lot of them, they'll get stamped down as well. Because Russia is ruthless in the way it deals with people who protest. So yeah, hmm. Yeah. Uh, was it Kenneth Gardner says called lead replacement? Right. So what have we got then? I'm going to look up all these things. So let's have a look at. Is there a thing like lead replacement additive? Oh, Red X lead replacement wins lead substitute. I got a feeling that this bike was probably designed to run on unleaded, but yeah. Um, hmm. Don't use Castrol R. Don't use it. Dinkum says I can get a real lead, an additive that adds lead to your fuel, but it's illegal to use. Oh, that's all right. That's the one I want then, right? Yeah. Tell me where to get it. We won't be worrying about that because nobody will know. Nobody will know that I'm using it. So, yeah. Mm, mm, mm. Well, it's all news to me. If anybody can tell me what the most magic stuff is, then I will go and get it. You know, lead replacement keeps vintage and classic cars on the road, maintains peak engine performance, lubricates and protects soft valve seats. Mm-hmm. Okay. All sounds good. All sounds good. Yeah. Well, I'll have to look into it because I do my research on these things, so I'll find out what the Yamaha TTR people say. Because if I look at like TTR 250 lead replacement additive, let's see what people are saying. Um, well, there's nobody's talking about it in relation to the TTR 250, so I don't know. Yeah. Okay, definitely have to do some research into this. Oh, off-grid T-Bone says, have you ever considered getting a camper van to travel around in? Well, I had a Mercedes, almost like a bus once, and it was huge, and it had a shower, cooker, area to sleep, and that was kind of good fun. But what I really needed to do, which I never got round to, was to change the fuel tank because it had diesel bug, and it was a bastard, and it used to just keep on clogging the filter up every 50 miles. You have to change the filter every 50 miles. I never got round to it, so in the end, I was too big. It was just crazy big, this thing. So I ended up just getting rid of it, um, and it looked like a tank, on the road. So, but yeah, and I'm not really worried about the speed. I used to do like 50, 60 in it, to get to places. But yeah, hmm. But yeah, maybe one day, I might go down that route. Yeah, it'd be nice to kind of just cook my own food in the back and save buggering about. Have a fridge and be able to sort of, you know, keep my own food there and cook my own food rather than going into places. You know, that would be good. But yeah, something for the future maybe. Was it a Sprinter? No, it was Mercedes. It was like a bloody big bus, basically. You know, it had. How can I describe it? It had a ladder that went onto the roof. I really can't remember what it was called now. And it had a like a big square thing next to the driver's seat, and if you unclipped it, you could take it off and you could look down on top of the engine, because that's how I used to change the bloody filters all the time. I was always doing it, changing the filter, drive 50 miles, change the filter, drive another 50 miles, change the filter. Yeah, so that was how I used to do it. But oh, it's midnight. Oh, we're getting close now, folks. I'm gonna have to call it. I'm gonna have to call it. Mm. I can't remember. Let me see if I can find out. Mercedes old van. Oh, this looks like it. Hang on. There's a bigger version of one of these. This is probably what it was. Hang on. It's probably one of these actually, folks. I've got it straight away. Hang on. Hang on. Agree. What's it called? What's this called? What's it called? A T2 L309 or a 508? 508, something like that. 508. That sounds familiar. That does sound familiar. What's this? 309. 309. It was huge, but it actually had an extended top. So when you were in the back, you were standing up, but it had an extended roof, so it was higher. Because as a van standing in the back, you know, you could hit your head on the roof, and it was extended up higher. Yeah, that looks like the type of thing. 309. 309. Yeah. And it didn't go fast. You could push it to 70 if you wanted to, but it was like 50, 60. It was quite happy at 50, 60, and it didn't use much diesel. It was really good. It was like, did not cost a lot of money to run that thing around, even though it was a huge bloody beast. But it had a one-off gearbox, and when I went, because the gearbox had a problem with the shift, I went to go and try and get one, and they all went, "We don't understand what you're on about. We don't understand. We don't understand." So I had to take them photos and like show them, and they said, "Oh, you've got a special one there. That's different. We can't do that." And I said, "Well, what do I do? Because it's like the shifter won't shift properly." And they said, "You're going to have to take that apart." So I did. I took the shifter apart and actually fabricated a new part for it, and it was all right. It ran around, you know. I fabricated the part myself, made the part myself. So yeah, it was a 2 or a 2.5. Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah, it was a big old bastard. Yeah. Oh, hello. Did LSK do a donation or something? Hang on. Oh, thank you for angel treats. Yes, I'll get Angel some more. I think we probably have. I know I'm going to do it before I go to bed because it's so tasty. I'm going to have a little bit more of that salami. Shouldn't really. This is why I'm not getting to lose the weight quite as quickly as I've wanted to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a big old beast, but you could just idle it along at low revs and not like thrash it, and it was good. It was really good, and it had a huge wheel. It had a huge wheel, and it wasn't power assisted steering, so it wasn't power steering. It was manual, and you had to turn the wheel, turn the wheel, turn the wheel, turn the wheel. But I tell you what, it had an amazing turning circle. The wheels turned almost sideways, and the turning circle on it was just crazy. I never got over how much the turning circle was on it. It was amazing, and it was a rear wheel drive. And I got that bloody thing up some hills that you'd struggle on a car on. I got it to climb up some crazy hills because it would I don't know, it just seemed to sort of like the traction on the back, and it had two wheels either side, so it had four wheels on the back, yeah, but they were just in line, and that thing would climb. I could get it to go up grass hills because I used to go to parties with it, and I got it to go up some quite crazy grass slippy banks. Most people would just take a run at it, and I would just sort of just start at the bottom and just chug 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 up nicely up. It's crazy. So I don't know what it was about that it was really really good. Mm. Mm. But yeah, it was a good old vehicle. It did quite a few free parties and kept me quite comfortable whilst everybody else was like out in the cold. But the trouble is, everyone realised I had a heater in it, and they all wanted to come in, and then I couldn't get any sleep because the whole vehicle would be full of bloody people, like you know. So it had its advantages, but from the party point of view, I was like, oh Jesus, I'm just attracting people like flies here to want to come in my vehicle to warm up, you know. So it's like that's probably one of the reasons I got rid of it is because every time I took it somewhere, everybody was like, "Oh, look at him with his nice vehicle. Oh, we're getting in there. We're getting in that. We're coming in." So yeah, it was a curse as well. But and it always used to break down on the motorways, and I just pull over on the hard shoulder, go and make myself a cup of tea. When the tea had boiled and I'd had a cup of tea, then I'd go and change the filter, and then we carry on. Now, if I pulled over on the hard shoulder, there'd be like blokes coming up like with their flashing lights, like these flashing light vehicles in the UK. They're sort of like, "Are you all right, sir? Do you need a hand, sir? Can we do anything to help you, sir?" And I'd be like, "Oh, piss off," just yeah, you know, yeah. So all the pill heads on the bus, exactly, yeah. Mm, mm. I bought it because I wanted somewhere nice for me. It ended up becoming somewhere nice for everyone, not just me. So yeah. So I think what you need is a medium-sized vehicle where you can say, "No, no, piss off! You're not all coming in my vehicle." But this thing was so big, I could have 15 people in the front and still like have room at the back and be able to sleep, be on my bed, and still have 15 people in the front of the bloody thing. It's that big. Yeah. So yeah. But anyway, folks, we're past the 12 o'clock. This is where I turn back into a pumpkin. I'm afraid this is literally it. And you wouldn't like to see me when I'm a pumpkin. When am I bringing my next video out? Well, I have to upload it now because it's ready, but it just has to be uploaded. So the moment I stop here, I will then put it on. The only thing I don't like about motorhomes, like motor campers, right, is a lot of them are petrol, which is shit, and they seem to have crappy gears that like rev really high through the gears. And what I want is something that has been designed with a sensible gear ratio so that you can cruise at 2000 revs doing 70 miles an hour. Not like 4,000 revs at 70 miles an hour. That what I want. That's what I want. If I ever go for one, I'm going to do my research and I'm going to find one that just is diesel, low revving, and then I won't have any problems with it, I'm sure. The real problem comes with all these vehicles. They put shit petrol engines in them. They put shit gearboxes in them, so they rev through the roof, and they're designed to keep braking all the time. They're just a joke. So, yeah, they're low geared. Screw that. I'm not interested in that. I want something that is diesel and has a good power. And yeah, it's December 1st. Oh yes, everybody, welcome to December. Welcome to December. It certainly is in the UK anyway. It's probably was December 12 hours ago for Mr. Dinkum. So, yes, it's 11, it's 1/12/222. 11/12/222. Yeah. So happy 1st of December. Yes, happy 1st December. One thing about salami is it does catch in your teeth. I've noticed that. Yeah, it catches in your teeth really well. Mm. So that's about it, I think, then, folks. So I tell you what. Does anybody want to come in, Mr. Dinkum? You're here. Do you want to come in for 5? I'll go till 1:30. We get a few people in just at the end, and we can discuss some stuff. I'll go till 1:30. Then I'm going to go to bed because I want to get up early in the morning because I'm going to be doing trailer bearings. That's nice and easy and quick. Yeah, I'm going to like that because it's going to be like bang bang. Oh, I've achieved something. Then it's going to be get the bike out, and it's going to be like then try and achieve the same level of proficiency on the bike. So yeah, Sprinter, 6 speed bullet professional vans, but they are guzzlers, mate. If you do 80 miles an hour in a Sprinter, you are absolutely chucking the fuel in. Yeah, 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 yeah. See, I don't know if I want something fast. I want something that forces me to drive slow because if I have a Sprinter and I know it can do 90 or 100, what am I going to be doing? I'm going to be throwing the fuel and I'm going to be doing 90 in it, and I'm going to be. I want something that literally makes me drive slow. Yeah. How are the kidney stones? Yeah, they're fine. I still get a little bit of weird pain on one side. I don't know quite what that is, whether it's just, sort of like irritable bowel or something. But I mean, it's not like it was before. The kidney stones are all, I think, fixed, but I still have like slight tenderness, I would say, on one side, the left hand side. But yeah, as long as it's not cancer, I'm happy. So fingers crossed, eh? Um, mm. So let's see if if anybody wants to come up. Let me just see who's sending me messages. What's that then? Oh, somebody sent me £5. I don't know who it's from though. Oh, it's just something, 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 something. It doesn't tell me who it's from. Yeah. So, but thank you for whoever you are. And it doesn't come up on there either. They just literally sent it directly to my PayPal. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's see if I bring someone up for a minute and see if they want to come on. And then we can finish up the night. We'll have 20 minutes of fun. But at least I've done what I said I was going to do. I'm answering all your questions and responding to the chat for a change. Giving you some time as opposed to just. Oh, here we go. Oh, just as I was about to send him. I was just about to send him the. Oh, how do I delete it? It won't let me go back. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm not doing very well at pasting these in, actually. So there we are. I think this lady is off somewhere, so she's probably not going to come on. But right, Mr. Dinkum, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. A little rough.
There. Yes, not too bad, mate. He's got the big naughty, haven't you?
Yeah. I sound like a chainsaw. But
go and get some advertising work. Do it whilst you still got the voice.
yeah. Let's see if we can do some advertisements for we're 1-800 call now commercials late at night.
Oh, I'm getting told we got echo. I better turn my camera off because if I stand up now, it's not going to look good. Right, so hang on. I'll put my
headphones on.
Yeah. You do not want to see that camera full of that. Trust me, not to be good.
You're free balling.
Right, okay. Something was attached to my headphones. Velcro attached itself. Right, here we go. There we are. So, should be able to hear you on my headphones now.
Yep. Testy, 1, 2, 3.
Testicles.
You got it. Yeah.
Wallet and spectacles.
Yeah, that's the one.
Mm. So what's been going on, sir?
Well, not much other than trying to sort myself out, and these drugs the doctor gave me. Oops, they've just gone everywhere. They actually seem to be working. Believe it or not, I might sound like shit, but I don't feel too bad, other than a little sore in the throat. But there's one really. It's called Plaxovid, and I think I sent you an image that this stuff costs like over $1,100 a box, but I only have to pay 41 for it, and but yeah, it has some weird side effect, and I was wondering what the hell was going on, and they said that you get this like metallic taste in your mouth, and I thought, I started to feel like taste something every time I was swallowing. I was thinking, what the fuck is that? And yeah, it's sort of like, if you sniff something up your nose and it runs down the back of your throat and it has that real bitter sort of taste mixed with a metal taste. Yeah, it's bizarre. And it's like constant, it's bloody, it doesn't go away. But yeah, other than that, it seems to be working. So I don't feel like a big sack of shit. Yeah. So happy days. And yeah, that octane, it's called 104 real lead. And I sent some images of it to your WhatsApp, but it is illegal. But in America, you can still buy it. And I know someone that brings over container loads of car parts and engine parts, and they have a pro shop, performance speed shop. And he does sell some under the counter kind of thing. But it's there is someone actually selling it on eBay, but obviously, unless you go and pick it up directly from him somewhere in Wisconsin or wherever the hell he was, he won't ship them full. He'll only ship them the empty cans for collectors. But yeah, because obviously you can't
empty
send.
can, $35. Empty can.
Yeah, for collectors. But if you look down below in the description, it actually says if you want full ones, you can come and pick them up. But obviously, he's not allowed to ship explosives or flammables in through the postal service.
Jesus. Well, I could go and get Avgas. That's leaded.
Yeah.
It's expensive though. Let's just
It's
check out what the price
expensive as
is. Yeah, Avgas prices.
Probably about 3 times the price of fuel.
Avgas. Aberdeen, £1.70. Well, it's not much
Oh,
more than
that's not
it's
too
the
bad.
price of what you're paying for the bloody stuff at the pumps now.
Yeah, and that's that like E10 shit, isn't it? That most places over there in Europe use E5, E10. I mean, we do have like an E5 here, but it's not very popular. And yeah, then there's 82 octane or 85 octane is sort of like the standard here, but it's still shit. That's why I only use the premium 98. Your engine lasts longer, runs better, and you get better mileage. So what you save on buying cheap, nasty crap that smells of sulfur as it's going out the back tailpipe, you probably lose in inefficiency, and as opposed to paying a little bit more and getting the better fuel, which saves your engine in the long run. So I mean, if I'm using a high car, I'll just use the cheapest shit available, if I'm somewhere using a high car. But in my own vehicles, I only put in the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try the higher octane stuff and Red X, which is what somebody told me to do, and I'll try that and see what happens, see if it kicks out any shit.
Yeah, the original recipe Redex used to work really well to decarbonize combustion chambers. So you take out your spark plug and you pour some in. You run the engine until it's warm, then you take out the spark plug or plugs, and you pour the Redex in and just let it sit for an hour or two, and it just breaks down the bond between the baked on carbon and glazing on the cylinders. And then what you do is you turn the motor over with the spark plugs out, and it just blows all the shit out. And then you just got to clean the thread, because it will sometimes foul the spark plug thread where the plug goes in. And then you screw the plugs back in, and she runs. No pre-igniting, none of that. It gets rid of a lot of engine knocking and stuff that's caused by pre-ignition. Because when you have a bit of carbon stuck inside your cylinder, it'll glow like an ember, like a glow plug on a diesel or something, and it pre-ignites the fuel on the compression stroke and makes the engine knock. So, yeah, once you piss that off and get it all out of your engine, it runs a lot smoother. And but I know they've changed the formula of Redex, so I don't know how the new stuff works, but I think it's just a fuel additive that you dump in your tank now. So
we need some of the nasty stuff. We need nasty.
yeah.
If you've got any nasty, contact me privately, folks. I want nasty.
I've got nasty. I can send to you, but you want some COVID in the post, mate? No worries. No, I'm just joking.
What's Jet A1 is £1 a litre. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at other prices, right?
Half gas is pretty reasonable.
£1.28 per litre. Yeah. Because it's not got road tax on it, you see, so it hasn't got the tax.
Yeah, right.
So it's actually it sounds cheaper, So maybe I need to just go to a local airfield like
just buy a drum.
Thruxton, and just take some jerry cans, just go and get it filled up, and that's it.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's funny here. There's a petrol station not far from me that a lot of people with performance cars go to, and they actually have avgas on a Bowser, and so you can pump it straight into your tank. But I'm pretty sure there's a tax on that because it's being used on the road. Whereas, like you're saying, yeah, if you buy it from an airfield or a wholesaler, it's not going to have that. Yeah.
Just looking what they're saying now. Yeah, I mean the trouble is as well. It's like the new stuff. It's hygroscopic, and it pulls in water, so it goes off in a couple of weeks. New fuel. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's not sealed up properly, I mean, yeah, it's going to suck water vapor out of the air. Yeah.
91 octane was running well and is not doing well on 95 octane, somebody's saying. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it really depends what the engine's set up for, but I generally find if you're running a higher octane, the engine runs cooler and smoother, but especially with vintage stuff, but things that are meant to run on super, like leaded fuel. If you run unleaded fuel through them, they run fine, but they do run hot. And if the timing's just out, the tuning's a bit out, they'll run a bit rough,
So you'd say like super unleaded is better then?
Well, super unleaded is exactly the same thing. Sorry, super in Australia. Sorry, when I say super, that's leaded fuel, but they don't sell that anymore. So,
Yeah.
um,
No, over here we have unleaded and we have super unleaded.
mm. So super unleaded is just like probably like what we call ultimate or premium, which is it's a high octane unleaded fuel.
Yeah, it's
It's got
higher
additives.
octane. Yeah,
Yeah,
97, 98 RON.
but this real lead additive that actually does have what's the stuff? Trying to remember the actual chemical. It's a lead oxide of some sort diluted into it. So as it burns, it literally deposits lead in your upper cylinder, um, in your valves, your upper cylinder, and within inside your cylinder bore as well. So
Punch's Couch, it says higher octane actually burns at a higher temperature. Is that correct? I don't know.
he may be right, but I know the engine runs cooler if you're running it a higher octane fuel though, and that's why like methanol cars that run on methanol there. That's actually got a lower octane, but that produces a lot more heat. Um, and yeah, it's a different sort of setup. Yeah, you shouldn't go putting methanol in your regular car and think it's going to make it go faster because whilst it might get a bit more pep, I don't know. Really, it's just going to damage the shit out of the engine.
Maximum 2 points difference, 97 versus 99. So it's not a hell of a lot, is it, really? Difference between.
No, 2 points is not a lot. When you start getting around 4 to 7 points, that range, you can get an octane booster called 104, which will bring up. You just add that to regular unleaded, and that'll bring it up to 104 octanes, which is definitely got a lot more pep to it. Does give a bit of a strange smell out the tailpipe. It's weird. Yeah, I can't really explain what it smells like. But yeah, whenever I drove around with it in my F-150 pickup truck, yeah, people always comment like, "Oh, what's that running? It smells rich and weird." Yeah, it's got a sweet smell to it. Yeah,
Okay, well, I have to read into more of what these TTR guys are saying. Uh, See what they reckon. Because I think it's probably that engine was designed around the unleaded days.
yeah.
So when unleaded was around. So,
What if it was built after what, say, like late 80s, early 90s? It's going to be definitely set up to run on unleaded fuel. But it's just unleaded fuels have changed over time, and once they start putting ethanol in it, that sort of does screw with those sort of type of engines, where they're not designed to run on E10. They're not going to run very smoothly.
yeah. Well, it seems to be running quite well. I just don't know
Yep.
what else. Maybe it'll run like quieter and smoother. I don't know. But yeah, I'll have to have a look into it.
Yeah, you should definitely
Jeez.
get more power and just easier starting, more power, and probably better mileage running a higher octane fuel through it. Yeah, but it's
Give it a
not
go.
like yeah. I mean, you don't expect like the world of difference, but you probably will notice a little difference.
Demand the finest wines known to humanity, and I want to put them in my tank. I want them here, and I want them now. Give it a go. See what's happening. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard a lot about this DJI Osmo 3, the DJI Action 3. Apparently, it just pisses all over the fucking GoPro heroes.
Yeah,
It
right.
does it doesn't need to have a special max lens on and can go upside down with just a normal lens on, and it just stays steady. So we can do all that with just the normal lens on. Doesn't have to have like additional this, additional that, and it's got like a bigger sensor. Works better in the dark. The quality of the footage is much better in low light. It's like, yeah, this looks a hell
Yeah.
of a lot better, and it's cheaper.
Oh,
Yeah.
Melissa's in the house.
It's
Good evening, Melissa.
Adrian. Yeah, I've stopped. Seeing now Duncan Dinkham's on. What's the first thing I've done? I've stopped reading the frigging chats now. There we are, folk. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bad influence.
Mm. But I did say I was going to be going in a bit, so I'm getting tired and I'm just getting to the end of my thing. So, well, it's past now. Should we be a bastard and just say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah, mate. I can't keep this up for too much. My throat will just cave in. I think. Take it easy.
Yeah.
It's
But
not easy for me because it's hard for me to shut the fuck up. But yeah,
Wow.
with a sore throat, it helps.
Yeah. Mm. Let's do it then. Right. Well, we'll say good night then, everybody, and thank you very much for coming on. And yeah, tomorrow's going to be the day of resurrecting the bike, and then we'll be getting out. And even if we don't resurrect the bike, we still got the mountain bike, so we do that. So we'll get there. But this has been like a little bit of a, you know, I need to get this done, so I'm going to get it done, and then we will, you know, we'll take it from there. We'll see where we're at with the bike. We'll let you know.
Yeah,
We'll have some
you're
fun.
gonna go out. You're gonna go out with because you said Eddie's got one too, didn't you?
Yeah, Ed's got one. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's only just got his what do they call it? His like CBT, which is like his you got it is different years ago, but it's like yeah, they call it a CBT. It's a certificate of basic training or something, and you got to get that like to be able to. Well, you get your provisional, and you got to do CBT, and then you have to do a test at the end of it, and then but you can ride round on your provisional, which is what he says. Oh, I'll just ride round on my provisional. And I said, well, you might as well go for your test because once you've built up the experience, you'll be ready for your test. So,
Yeah.
but he's sort of thinking about it. So, yeah. But nonetheless, if he wants to come up, or I can drive down there to him, take my bike down there, and have some fun down there maybe. But it's definitely good up on the Salisbury Plain though, as long as you're legal. Like they can't fucking touch you. So they do go a bit mental up there trying to catch people. But then when they catch you, if you're all legal, they just like go on then,
Yeah.
fuck it. They're trying to catch people who aren't legal. So yeah, we shall see. So yeah, we'll have to get
Good
him up.
stuff.
I've seen this bike actually. It looks nice. It's quite good. It's got a electric start, and it looks very minimalistic. It's like it doesn't hide anything behind panels and things. It's just very open. You can see all the
No, yeah.
parts, and it looks like there's not much there because the way it's like designed, it actually looks like you're just viewing a few components, but that's like full 125. Whereas a lot of them, they try to hide it behind they try to make it look like it's a bigger bike behind
Yeah.
panels and things like that.
All the fairing parts and
Yeah.
polycarbonate and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like stripped down to the bare minimum, but it actually looks more sort of funky, like steampunk. Because it's all
It's
just
probably easy to work on too. You have
yeah,
to spend twice the time pulling all the bits and bobs off and grazing the knuckles on shit that is in the way. Yeah.
yeah. Even the fuel injectors, it was just like like two pipes appearing to go into the car, but the car doesn't have a float. It's just like you just see these two pipes, and I was like, oh, and it's like, and they've got like wires coming off, and I was like, well, it must be sort of like sending some sort of voltage down to this
Pulses.
that's like literally just making it go sput 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 and firing the fuel in. But it's
Yeah, right.
just
So it's fuel injected. Yeah.
it's fuel
Yeah.
injected, yeah. But it's like the seeing how small the fuel injection mechanism is. It's like it must be parts of an inkjet printer or something, you know. It's like tiny, tiny little thing, you know. That's
Yeah.
just
Injector
pipes.
nozzles are. Yeah, they just got like a solenoid on the top of them, and they can do some pretty crazy speeds. What's it? I'm just trying to think. I've got red tops in my V8, and they do. I'm just trying to remember. It's 17 injections per millisecond or some shit. Is peak flow rate, I think. Yeah, it's unbelievable speeds on these that they can fire. And it's just controlled by an ECU chip. So yeah, but obviously, those bikes, they must have a nice little simplistic injection system. So it must have an airflow meter that measures the airflow coming into the engine and calculates the fuel to be delivered and sends the pulses to the injector nozzles.
Well, it's got two sets of wires going to it, so I imagine it's either like they look like the two pipes, which is weird. So maybe it's redundancy. It's like pipe A, pipe B, and two sets of wires. So it might be
Mm.
yeah, maybe one's a sensor and one's the pump. But I can imagine. Yeah, I really don't know. It
Yeah,
looked so simplified. It was like tiny
yeah. The,
little
re-
like
the the other pipe would probably be a return. So you've got high pressure fuel coming in, and then
yeah.
there's what isn't injected gets returned back to the tank, so it just circulates constantly.
Yeah, that makes sense because when he turns the bike on, you hear the high frequency of a pump. You hear like a
Yeah,
high frequency like wheel squeal, you
yeah,
know. So
yeah.
yeah,
So
there is
that's
a
the high flow
return
pump.
side. Yeah, yeah, sound makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah, good shit. Right then. Well, on that note, I'm gonna sign off, and we are gonna have some fun tomorrow with repairing things. And like everything, that it's gonna probably challenge me, and I'm gonna have to sort of like go away and get more bits to do the repair. But that's just
yeah,
the way of
yeah.
things.
If you're
Like,
getting stressed, do what I do. Just put down the tools, have a beer, and take 10-minute break. And then go back with a fresh sort of look at it perspective and go, oh yeah, okay.
yeah,
Because yeah, it can be challenging, a lot of that shit. Yeah.
yeah. Apparently, it's a bastard to get it off. But once you got it off, it slides back on perfectly. It's like they get stuck coming off,
Mm.
but then
Yeah,
they slide back on perfect. So
yeah, right.
yeah, we shall see. I got me torque wrench, so we'll be torquing all those nuts up to the perfect tensions.
Specified tightness. Yeah,
Yeah,
good stuff.
so it'll all be good. Oh well, we can only blow it up. So yeah, fingers crossed we don't do that.
Nah, I think you'd be right.
Yeah. Right then, folks. Well, thanks for popping in. Mr. Dinkum needs to go and get his beauty sleep. Yeah, for his.
Yeah. Oh, no, the girlfriend's just coming in. She's Jane. She's like looking at me, going, "I thought you're supposed to be sick, because you shouldn't, basically saying I shouldn't be on here yapping, should be
Yeah, you
looking
should
after
say
my."
yes. Sick of you, love.
Yeah, I just said, piss off. She's the one who made me sick, So
Yeah,
yeah, she was
yeah.
spreading the love. Yeah.
Spreading that.
But she
Yeah,
was
that
so happy when I got sick because that meant
she could
I
come
let her
into
out
the
of the
room.
room.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I had her locked like the
you've now
Chinese, mate.
got my filth, so you can come in now. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I had her doors screwed shut from the outside, like in China,
yeah.
mate. So yeah, so she spent 5 days in the bedroom, and now she got out. She's like so happy. Yeah.
Deal. Yeah, got you in the end.
Yeah, I knew it would. Oh yeah. All right. Well,
Right.
it's
Well,
good night
thanks very
from
much,
me,
everybody.
and it's good night
Thank,
from him. Yeah.
thanks everybody for the donations. It really has made a massive difference. That's like that has taken care of the horrible sprag clutch anyway. And yeah, I should be paying for some of it. So that's my contribution is 1/3. Your contribution is 2/3 now. Thank you. So, well done,
Good
folks.
stuff. Yeah.
Excellent. We'll be back on the road soon, pissing off the Karens wherever they exist. So, yeah.
I like
Okay, well, thanks, Stinkham, and thanks, Tracy, and Natalie, and Tim, and everyone who's been doing the moderation. And we'll